Hello, it's your boy. How we doing, folks? I need to realize I am actually not clicking the spectator button. There we go. Right, okay. Your man's prepared. We're definitely prepared. I am joined once again with my co-commentator, Kowalski. And the reason why we had 16 instead of 15 is because I did not click the spectate button. So we've got 15 drivers. So yes.
See.
We're in a sprint weekend, Lee. Short quali both times, 10 laps in the sprint, 28 laps in the race. You and I actually did this in a co-op career the other day, and it was absolutely horrible. So I'm excited. The tire wear absolutely horrid on this track. So we've got a bit of pre-race sort of experience to feed in now. We've got a couple of new faces here. We've got Elfin Court, the Swedish driver in the Haas. Vibora, who you remember raced with us, dropped down to reserve. So Elfin is joining us as a permanent driver in the Haas. We've also got Luke Armo, or LAMFC, I think they're called in game. They are now in the Kick permanently, along with Bosch as their teammate. We've also got Sniper Maker, who's actually an old head from when I used to stream way back in the COVID eras, who has dropped their head in. They are reserving in the V-Carb at the moment. They'll be racing with us in the sprint, and then they'll be dropping out before the race. So they are replacing Pace at the moment, who is unavailable. So 15 drivers for the sprint, 14 for the race. Rob has a sizable lead in the Drivers' Championship at the moment, but we will see if anyone can chip away and see how the new guys do, Lee.
Yeah, it's always nice to have a couple of wildcards coming in for their debut race. You never know. Obviously, we're coming in and we have absolutely no idea what their sort of pace is or potential is, so it's always good to have a couple of new faces in.
Musty joining us in the Twitch chat saying they'll be last in both races. Well, we'll have to see, won't we? The sun is shining here in Shanghai. So, 12-minute session, one set quali. This is it. Whatever the finishing order is here will decide the race. Now, since the last race, Lee, the results got posted and Casper was disqualified from the final standings, which actually meant that both Baz and Mr. CD improved their best ever finishing positions even more. Baz finished 6th overall in the end there, and Mr. CD up to 9th. So very good from them. So love to see drivers improve on their positions. I'm having a look. I think that's both Mercedes going out at the same time there.
Correct me if I'm wrong, that is a father-son duo as well, is it not?
It is indeed, yes. So Kev and Tesco, an absolute harmony as teammates. These two do work together very well. I'm gonna continue adjusting your audio, Lee, just to make sure it's balanced.
And what I've noticed so far already is, I would believe that Kev has in fact gone out in front of Tesco, and I'm wondering whether that's going to be a sneaky play for a tow.
I think so.
SQ1.
Or it's maybe a test. It's really early on here. First run in qualifying. Musty's dropped in. Now, obviously, we don't have the broadcast here, Lee, but we have a little insider has informed us that it will be intermediates in the sprint. So we love a bit of wet racing.
I love a wet race. It is my peak performance time in the wet race. Now, Tesco and Kev have both gone out on mediums.
Yes, I think, there's a range of tyres because it's the one qualifying. So probably set a banker on the mediums and then a flyer on the softs. There's lots of drivers coming out at the moment. That's over half the grid who are out. I think that is Rob in the Aston Martin will be next to go, and then it'll be I think that is one of the V-Carbs there. It's going to be interesting. I have to help me keep an eye on everything. But we're going to watch Kev go through, and as he starts his first lap with Tesco just hanging on behind him as he starts the last corner. Really easy to invalidate here. DRS open. Here, you want your burn a little bit of the battery. Kev actually keeping out of the way ever so slightly. I'm not sure what that was about, but he's going to hurl it into turn 1 here. Such a long corner. It's one of the longest apexes on the calendar. You can use the curb on the inside to rotate the car, both in 2 and 3, but Kev keeps away from it now. Onto the curb here. Don't cut the grass on the inside as you go down to the hairpin of T5. Good overtaking opportunity here. as you enter into the S section. This is one of the corners, turn 6, as you see him go through now, that will be one of the hardest tests on the tyre. It is absolutely flat through here, but the car is screaming at you all the way through. We go into this clumsy double right-hander here. It's actually quite easy to run wide and invalidate here, but it's also really easy to bog down on the curb, cut on the inside, or wash wide on the outside. I expect a majority of the time penalty to be picked up in that section. It's a slow second gear left-hander, and then this exit onto the straight is absolutely important. You'll see drivers do a variety of lines here. Some of them tuck really close to the inside curb, keep it all the way to the right. Some people move all the way to the left to try and keep as much speed as possible as Kev opens up his DRS. Tesco getting very much half of a toe in the background there. As we go down into the hairpin here, one of the main overtaking opportunities, Luke rightfully points out that this last corner here is so easy to invalidate. We'll see how Kev navigates it here. Does not clip the inside curb, keeps it very sensible on the exit curb. Tesco pushing the boundaries even more. It's a 131.7 for Kev. It's a 131.5 for Tesco. So, Mercedes setting down a markerly. I'm just going to go check in on Rob as he's doing. I don't know if you're able to see how anyone else is getting on at the moment. As we see Rob navigates his way around. That's Elfin who's started, and we've had our first disconnect of the session. So, Rob, 1-4, a potential pole position here. That's a 31.7. Matches, Kev, almost to the 1/1000th there on the Mercedes driver. Skarma there sets a 32. Yellow flag is just him keeping out of the way. There's a Mercedes going around. That's Chiv at the moment. See a couple of the drivers cross the line. Mr. C get the softs.
I'm just keeping an eye on Casper. I'm interested to see because he had a very good qualifying last race. So I'm just keeping an eye on him because he is a little bit of a dark horse. Obviously, he's moved into that permanent seat now, rightfully so. It looks like
just one more corner to go there. Baz and Mr. Ceed have set times. Oh, he's invalidated at the very death. So unfortunate. He will not have enough fuel to go again. He's going to have to curl around, box in, and go again. So
he's going to be very close for time on that one. I'm just looking at Musty to see where he's going to come in.
Michelando there sets a 32.1. Chiv with a 31.9 on the softs as well. I'm just looking at Elfin on the Haas as well, saving all his battery for the back straight there. I know you're keeping an eye on, that is Musty, I believe, at the top of your screen there. Yes. Yeah. Let's see if both Mercedes do like to go around, don't they? So they will probably have done another track. Oh, Elfin lights up the tyres on the Haas there. Musty's at a 31.9. Nice, very good. Let's see what the Haas driver can do. Tyres screaming at him there. It's a 34.1. He's made a mistake somewhere. He's got more to do. So
oh, there's an interesting one. I always like to watch a lap from him himself. He's on his out lap at the moment, and that is Lucalas in the McLaren.
Yes, Devereaux is also out as well. So Lucalas, one to watch. In fact, well, yeah, he's out on his out lap at the moment, so he will be keeping
just letting
everybody out of the way. Tell you what, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go on board here with Devereaux. And I'd invite you, Lee, to take us around on a lap with Devereaux. He's just on the pit straight now, getting ready for his outlap. Casper in the background, I think Casper won't have enough fuel. So you can take us on board with Devereaux in the Williams driver. Still yet to set a time, and you can talk us through how he goes about his business, Lee.
We'll take a look now. Obviously, Devereaux, very mid-table driver. Does have potential, though, as he comes through the last penultimate corner now. He takes it very safe through there. Coming, opens up the DRS and burning a bit of battery coming into T1. Now, T1 obviously is that horrible corner where you've got a mix between throttle and brake and letting off and all these different things going through your mind at the same time as he tucks it very neatly into the corner for turn 2 and 3. Comes now onto the straight. He's very, very gentle coming through. His battery's being burnt as we speak. Now he tucks in the corner there. Very heavy on the braking as we come through this right-hander. It takes a lot of curb through there. He might have lost a little bit of time through there. Now as he comes to this left-hander, it is flat out. Although he has backed off ever so slightly coming through there. I wonder whether that's a little bit of lack of confidence. He comes through. He's playing it very safe when it comes to these lines. He's cutting it very tidy through there. Always looks slow. Doesn't mean it is. Comes through now heavy on the brakes as he takes the left-hander. Cuts the curb very nicely. Keeps it nice and tucked. And obviously onto the throttle now as we come onto this back straight. I'm going to say he's probably not going to have much battery to use, but he is burning it. He's going to hit the DRS in time. Yes, he hits it lovely. He's coming through now. He is maxing everything out down on this back straight. He's really banking on it. He's turned off it now. Cuts in, locks up a little bit. Cuts it very neat and tidy through. As he comes in the penultimate corner, as we know, it's very easy to make a mistake and invalidate. He does again, cuts it very nice.
Oh, right on the
Does take it a
line there,
bit
wasn't
slow.
it?
Yeah. And he puts a respectable 133.3 in.
Yeah, 4/10 off his teammate there. Devereaux struck me as somebody who did not want to push the boundaries of the track limits whatsoever.
No.
It's sprint. This is the time to work it out. I'm also going to go straight on board with our debut in the kick. This is Luke Armo here, LAMCFC, as you can see. I'm going to go on the broadcast cam as we watch him go around. Lucalis is also on the watch. He's on the back straightly, so you can let me know how Lucalis gets on.
Yes.
As we start
I
seeing
like
a
a
couple
lap
more
from
drivers
Lucalis.
filtering out. Kick driver here unfortunately had a disconnect, so he has had his back up against the wall here. He's got one chance to set his lap. Lucalis is, we're going to check in on a minute. I'm going to go on board with him and see how he does. Very conservative on the battery by the looks of it. He's boxed. He's boxed, Lee. Lucalis will start.
What is that about?
He might start last. I tell you what, he'd be hard pressed to get out in time. What has happened to the McLaren drive? He's had a couple of dodgy qualifyings this year so far.
Yeah.
Checking back in with Luke Armo here, who may be the lead Luke on the grid here as it stands. Couple of the drivers, Devereaux is still going around, obviously. A couple of drivers filtering out on their outlaps, maybe looking to improve. Luke might come out in time. He'd be pushing it very close, though, wouldn't he? My goodness, I'd love to know what happened there. So, Luke on the back straight here. Luke Armo, I should say. Let's say Williams, it was either Williams or Alpine, either giving him a bit of a tow. Very excited to see how he does on his debut. Is the driver going to get out of the way down to the hairpin? He does. Oh, it's a little bit of a hold up by the Williams driver there. He might have gotten a little bit of dirty air. Williams is going to filter into the pits. I think that is Devereaux. No, Devereaux's going to start again, I think.
Going again.
Devereaux is going
that's
again.
interesting.
So, what will Luke Armo do here on his debut? It's P4. It's 31.8. Strong lap time from him. Right. Okay, Devereaux one to watch then. Very, very strong time from the kick driver.
What's the timer on? What's the timer on? Luke is going on his outlap now.
Oh, it's. I think I can't see because it's 1 minute 30 seconds. It's gonna be very close.
Oh, he's
It's
gonna
gonna-
fly through this outlap.
Now
get
it's
in
a
time.
31.5. I don't know if he's got enough time. You know, I don't know if he does.
I think he's going to be very much on the right. Baz is the first retirement. He is clearly happy with the time that he has.
Yeah,
set.
P10 32.9, not too shabby at all. Elfin in the Haas is going to start his lap time. Now, both Mercedes, sorry, one Mercedes is actually on a flying lap right now, I believe. That's Kev. So, yeah, Kev has just started his lap. So we'll look out and see how he does. The last time we had a sprint, Kev started on
coming up.
sprint pole. So,
Casper is on the back straight on his outlap, getting out of the way of these drivers.
so yes, still
So
want to
he's
set
gonna
a
set a
representative time. Yes, if he can get around in time, keep it out of the way. A couple of drivers on times at the moment. I'm just checking in. Sniper Maker is also out at the moment, or Max as they like to say in the chat, so we'll refer to him as Max, on the soft tires as well. So we'll see how he can improve on his debut here in the VCAB. Look at the drivers filtering all over the place back there. So I'm just going to check in, see who else is going around. Musty is going around now. He's going to start his lap. I'm going to check in with
This is going to be so close with Lucalis. I gotta be honest with you. He's going to get across in time.
He is indeed, but is he going to be...
got the Ferrari in front of him.
Right.
Has he made enough of a gap?
And he's ever so slightly held up the VCAB of Max there, so we'll see. Max improves to P4, displaces the kick driver there, so 31.82 from him. I'm on board with Kev. Can Kev improve on his time as the flag is out? This is it. The drivers now will set their times. Kev improves to provisional pole. It's a 30.9. LAMFC will take the flag in P5. No chance to improve there. So checking in on the Haas driver here, Elfin, who has retired. It's P13 at best for him. He was unable to improve. I'm just checking. Michelando has invalidated. He will finish P8 at best. Skarma is out at the moment. Rob and Tesco is one to watch. Tesco obviously in for a shout at potential pole here. Robin for a shout as well. We'll see how Lucalis gets on as well. I don't know who else is out on laps at the moment. Yeah, Michelando just getting out of the way. Skarma goes wide. Skarma's invalidated. It's P9 at best for the VCAB driver. So, VCAB having issues in the fight for the constructors at the moment, Lee. That is one driver P4 P4, 1P9. Right, okay. So Michelando's giving a lovely tow to Rob in the Aston Martin, though. Absolutely
And as
brilliant.
he moves out the way,
But I tell you what, Rob has been giving a tow to Tesco as well. So what will Tesco do? Very aggressive on the brakes from the Mercedes driver. Will Rob displace Kev on the top step? Lucas also want to watch. See loads of drivers streaming through here. Rob will cross the line in just a moment. Rob to P2, it's a 31-0. Tesco stays P3.
doesn't improve.
So Lucas
Casper's coming across the line now. Casper set at 1:33.2.
12 and Luke up to
1:31.1.
P4. So, and that was, I think that was Musty crossing the line there. So Devereaux is the last driver out. I don't know if he's on a lap time now. He's not indeed. His DRS isn't on. And that is that. Kev is on sprint pole once again. Rob there in P2. Tesco into P3. Just 1/100 separating Rob and Tesco. Lucas to P4 after he bailed on his first lap. Sniper maker Max on debut to P5, and Luke Armo on debut P6. Very strong from them, Lee. Musty P7, Chiv P8, Michelanda P9, Skama P10, Baz P11, Devereaux P12, Casper only P13, Mr. Seedy in P14, and then Elfin deputizing the Haas in P15. So, exciting grid. The Mercedes up there once again.
Oh yes, very much so. I mean, those two, you cannot write them off. I mean, that's a fantastic lap from Kev. Interesting to see what he's going to do in the race. I'm very interested to see what the tactics are going to be for the sprint race. Obviously, I'm going to guess most, if not the majority of everybody's going to be on mediums, but how are they going to cover off that first corner? Because it's so open for overtakes. People going diving down the inside, or someone's got the better line and got more traction, goes around the outside and cuts around. It's going to be a hell of a battle going into T1 for this.
Very exciting. So, just glancing over to the, I like to imagine as my little, my ticker that I've got that commentators have, Musty has managed to injure themselves on their setup. So, we will see if Musty in P7 is able to compete the Hungarian driver. So, you know, a unique way that sim racing can present itself. It's not necessarily mechanical failures here. It's your setup unseating itself and hitting you in the face. Those things are some vicious power behind them, to be fair. But right, so intermediate conditions potentially. I tell you what, though, it doesn't look like it. Maybe it's dry to wet. Maybe I've been spooked by the tickler. We have to see. Everybody on the mediums at the moment. If there is rain, you'd be hard pressed to start on the softs, wouldn't you? Much better traction.
Well, you'd think so, but then I don't know. It depends when that rain's supposed to come,
and
to be honest with you.
How quickly do the softs fall away? Look at that. There was somebody who dropped it on the hards there for just a minute. That would have been very brave. I think everyone will run the mediums. But
it's going to be very interesting the last couple of laps, though, because those mediums are going to go off probably around about lap 6, and then it's going to very much be tyre management for the last 4 laps of the lap of the race.
I'd imagine it's going to be tyre management for all of this, as it much was in real life. To be honest, it's just getting through that first phrase. Yeah, look at that Chiv slapping on the hard tyre. Very interesting strat from the McLaren. May pay dividends for him. A couple drivers switched to the hard side. Lukalis, Max, the Swedish driver in the V-Car, tracking on the hard tyres as well. Very, very interesting. I wouldn't have thought the hards were viable.
Games, but is that something to do with the tyre allocation for the main race?
Potentially so. To be truthful, I can't remember. Kev looks as a scintillating start from the Mercedes driver. He's off. He just wants
to get round and down.
So, both McLarens and the V-Carb of Max there on the hard tyre. Everybody else on the medium. So, the McLarens have spoken to each other. They think they've got, a strat set out. I mean, everybody knows tyre wear is a massive problem here, right? So how do you deal with it? Is the hard tyre too slow? Because I'd have thought you lose just too much race pace. You're almost quicker sort of surviving on the medium tyre than you would be running the hard tyre.
It's going to be very interesting. I do like Kev's approach to this, so it's just absolutely like, keep your mind games. I'm gone. Let's get run. So
that's it.
He's clearly not falling into any of this sort of mind game business with pit stops and tyres and tyre wear and all this and that. He is very much just, I'm taking the mediums, you guys do what you want, let's get this race started. So it's going to be very interesting.
Kev here has been on sprint pole before. His teammate Tesco won last week. It was his first ever win. So
Yeah.
Kev will be after his first sprint win, or win in P0. A couple of new faces, obviously. Pace won the sprint in Portugal, his first ever time taking first on the road in a race before. I know it's not a race win, it's a sprint win. Tesco with his race win last week as well. Obviously, Rob and Lucas have been hoovering up a lot of the wins this season.
Look at that for a
well.
view. All
Yeah,
these
all of
cars
them
weaving
snaking.
back and forth.
That's it. The thing is, because the tyre wear is so bad, you almost want your warm tyres at the start, because if they're cold, especially through the first corner, and the S's of, I think it's 6 and 7 off the top of my head, the cold tyres will just pull just that much more and just wear that much more as well. So, drivers doing what they can as they all line up. I think this is going to be a very exciting team. I think we're going to see a lot of drivers take a lot of unique lines, aren't we?
Yes, I'm willing to bet at least one of the top 4 are going to go for that outside line and try and just, not a argy-bargy, but a little bit of, I'm taking this line, get out of my way, and cut the inside into turn 2 and get round to turn 3.
Right,
It's going to
because
be very interesting.
the broadcast fan is not very favourably, so I'm going to go on board with Rob to watch the start. You can keep an eye up and down the grid to see if there's any other changes.
Yes.
And we will see how Kev and Rob do. Tesco in the rear left of Rob's mirror there, as well as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights here for the sprint in China. And we are go. Rob a little bit hesitant on the start. That Kev gets a very good start. Tesco also gets a pretty
Very
decent
good
start,
start
but
as well.
McLaren just pushing him ever so slightly on the inside. Tesco maybe had a look around the outside of Rob, but it's as you were. So
There's those lines I was talking about. So many people going for that outside into the inside. For
look
turn
at that.
3.
Musty and Max go side by side through the exit. Great racing from these two. The front 4 is as you were. Musty really looking for that base and made the attack on Max. Max is going to have a look back down the inside, decides. Musty goes defensive. Michelangelo had to take evasive action.
Oh, and Rob's round.
Rob is
Rob's
round. Rob is round. Oh, big drama there. What's happened
And
to
the
the
Haas is
Aston
round.
Martin driver? Elfin's had an issue as well. So Rob falling 12 positions. Did he collide in the hair? But I didn't get to see it. So
I didn't see. I turned round and his car was sideways.
right, Max has followed behind
Very
Mika Lando as well. Chiv has moved up. LAMFC, Luca Armo, though, he's fallen a few positions back. Skarma's up. Baz is up. Casper up 2 positions as well. We know Casper's good at making his way up through the grid, isn't he? Kev has pulled a gap on his teammate. So Rob there is going to have a lot of work to do. Points are scored up to 10th here in the sprint, so he's got 4 more overtakes to do. He's right on the back of Mr. CD there. Think he will be making that move happen fairly soon. Anything else up the grid? I think Skarma's potentially going to have a make a move on the kick. Driver kick using a little bit of battery there to defend from it. So Skarma can't make anything happen. But Kev up the top there in P1, Tesco there in P2, and oh, that's what's happened. There was someone else who'd fallen down there. I think that is a couple of drivers all over the road there a little bit. That's Baz. Casper, I think, made the overtake on Devereaux. Yeah, so is Rob going to be able to make a move?
Musty is looking. He's closing that gap into Luke at the minute. Luke is obviously playing it very defensive.
And Rob and Mr. CD are going side by side here. I think Rob is going to make the move stick as he goes through turn 1. He does. So Rob up to 14.
Max.
So
Swedish Max was very, very close to the back of Mika, then going through turn 3. He's
right.
wanting it.
So Kev maintaining the gap ahead of Tesco. I would love to know what happened there. I didn't get to see it. It was blocked by the standings on the left-hand side. I just saw Rob go round. So it was a collision with somebody. We'll have to see. Rob has got a lot of work to do. But the first time we've seen Rob falter, really, in the last couple of races, he's been impervious recently. So, DRS now enabled.
If we're looking at the incident, there was a collision between Tesco and Rob.
Oh, big drama then. All right, so having a look there, Skarma very close to the back of that kick driver as well. Still on chance to score points on debut. Now he will get DRS, but so will Skarma. In fact, the train here runs from P2 down to P14. Watch Rob here as he's going to try and make a pass on the Williams driver as he goes side by side to potentially recover. No, the Williams is going to go down the inside of the Ferrari. He doesn't. He defends. Rob has to wait. It's so frustrating being in the back of the pack here. Devereaux thought about making the move on Casper, decided against it. No changes up the top though. Lee, I know you're having a look at the moment. Oh, look at that. Rob does go side by side with the Williams driver. Rob goes past up to P12. Good recovery from him. Is Devereaux going to try and re-attack him into T1? Nothing doing there for the Williams driver. But Casperley, if you notice, has fallen out of the DRS of Baz. So if that train pulls away, Rob is in a world of trouble, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Now, just keep an eye on this top 6 at the minute. Mika is all over the back of Musty as it stands. He is really, really, really hunting. Max is just keeping on the back end of him, just staying in the DRS. I think he's just biding his time a little bit at the minute, especially with these two fighting. Luke, on the other hand, is only 2/10 behind Tesco at the minute. He's starting to push a little bit.
Yes, Tesco does not get the DRS, does he?
No, now I'm wondering if those hard tyres from Luke are going to actually pay off for him, because obviously his wear is going to be a lot lower than what Tesco's going to be. So I'm wondering whether Luke's actually gone for the hard tyres, because obviously he's going to be sat in that dirty air pretty much for the full 10 laps. Now the mediums won't do it. The hards, of course, will.
Elfin there just had a bit of a moment.
Luke DRS open. He's looking around the outside. He's
he's going to go down the inside from Luke.
He's going for it. They're side by side through there. He's backed off.
Tesco will get the favourable exit there. So well done from Tesco there. But I tell you what, this just lets Kev move further and further away. Tesco has got him massively on the defensive here for his battery. Lucalis is maybe going to go around the outside of turn 1. What a move this would be from Lucalis.
And he's through.
Oh, brilliant move from him there. Tesco's going to try and fight it, just dipped out of the throttle there. I don't know if you caught it. Tesco lives to fight another day, but keeps the train with it. So Luca's got a lot of defending to do, but Kev is just happily moving on,
Mika's looking round Musty at the moment.
Oh, look at that! Mika Lando is going to go. Musty's going to have the favourable line. Is Mika Lando going to go for the switchback on the Alpine driver? Bit of a snap from the Alpine. Mika Lando up to P4. Brilliant drive from him. So, Mika Lando have 5 positions there. Very well done from the Welshman. Now, Mika Lando did bribe me into giving him driver of the day today, but I don't even think he needed to. 5 positions up. Very well done. On for a chance of a podium, especially if Tesco has some sort of issue. Sorry, if he picks up a time penalty, which we've known he can do before, or in the fight with him and Luke, excuse me. So, Rob is right on the back of Baz. He has caught up, but Baz has fallen out of the DRS. So, Rob actually passed Casper at some point. I did miss that with everything going on. I'm curious to see what Tesco is going to do in the fight with Lucalis here.
Something to look at is Chiv is storming on the back of Max, the Swedish driver at the minute. He's looking around the outside. He's just cut back in. Thought about it.
He's gone wide. Max has gone wide of the VCAB ever so slightly there. So Chiv not able to make an impression on it. Luke Amo is still defending from Skarma in the back. So well done in the battle of those. Luke Amo goes ever so slightly wide there. Rob did pass Baz down the straight, but he's 2 seconds behind. Tesco remakes the mass. Wow, I've just got the tail end of that. Luke is going to try and fight this one all the way around the outside, is he? No, nothing doing. Tesco regains.
No, he's open to Mika.
Oh, look at this. Max has gone ever so low. Chiv with a snap as well. So Musty defends from Max. Chiv with a bit of a snap is massively under pressure from the kick driver here. Is Luke Armo going to be able to make a move down into the hairpin? But look at the top of your screen. Max goes down the inside of Musty. Nothing doing there. Musty defends P5. Great driving from these two. Brilliant battling. But I tell you what, in all of this, they've fallen away from Mika Lando. So, look how close Lucalis is. This is not over. But Mika Lando is sitting behind the pair of them, thinking, thank you very much. I'll just sit and recharge my battery. Happy days. Look at the background. There is Max going to go down. He goes around the outside, but Musty smartly lets him go because he wants... Oh, someone's off in the background there. What was that off? That went off. Skarma's off to P11. Chiv right on the back. Chiv's on the grass. Oh, bit of contact there. Lucalis swaps with Tesco at the top there. Is Mika Lando going to make a move, though? Mika Lando's past the pair of them. He's into P2. Lucalis goes down the outside. Mika Lando up to P2. They're nearly 3 abreast. Oh, my goodness. So Tesco in the background there. So Max there has overtaken Musty for P5 at the end of the straight. Yellow flag in the background there. That's Mr. Seedy. No, Luke Armo's gone all the way back as well. He's gone down to P13. Lucalis and Tesco still going side by side. No, Lucalis there. No, Michelando's been dropped all the way back again, isn't he? So,
Yes.
so Michelando repassed by them. Oh, Tesco's had a half spin. So, something went up with Tesco. I was looking at the timing screen. I looked at Tesco was ghosted. So, it had been a contact, bit of snap. I'm not sure. But Michelando is now up to P3 and right on Luke's gearbox. Max is still leading there. He overtook Musty, but is out of the DRS of the front four. Kev is almost 3 seconds up the
Have
road.
a look at your standings at the moment because Rob is now on the back of Chip.
He is. So in all of that hullabaloo between the drivers, Rob managed to move up to P8, gain 2 positions in that mix-up there. So Baz will have to defend from Casper. Skarma is right on the back looking to make amends, but he's carrying a 3-second time penalty. Luke Armo obviously falling back as well, so it might have been something between Skarma and Luke Armo because they were next to each other, and now they're with each other again in 11th and 12th, and Tesco! Oh, he always picks up a time penalty, doesn't he? Poor Tesco. Oh, he can't beat the allegations, can he? So Chiv and Rob wants to watch him. Michelando also one to watch as well. We're probably going to see a lot of position changes. I want to go back here. Look how defensive Max is going there. So, Rob on the back of Chiv. Rob goes side by side and Rob passes Chiv there. Chiv is going to try and defend it around the outside as we see Musty and Max go side by side there. Michelando and Lucalis are still training at the top there. And Michelando, as you saw on your screen, and Rob is followed behind the pair of them. Chiv has repassed Rob at the exit of the head, but there's so much going on here, Lee. Lucalis is going to fight this one back, isn't he? Rob is going to go down the inside of Chiv. Lucalis repasses Michelando. Rob is still going to try and take this from Chiv. Chiv going around the outside. Casper there makes the pass on Skarma as well, and Skarma makes the pass on Baz. So Casper, a 10-second time penalty. What happened there? Oh, something happened as dramatic as happened there. So
he's been given a 10-place grid penalty, I believe, for cut in the corner.
In all of that, Lee, Rob has actually passed Musty as well. So Rob is up to P6. Very good recovery drive from him. Yellow flag in the background there. That's Devereaux is facing the wrong way. Oh, Devereaux, something has happened to him here. Devereaux is facing the wrong way. And Luke Armo will inherit that position. So, to recap, Kev miles, well, I say Kev is miles away. Luke's actually chipping into Kev's lead ever so slightly. The hard tires coming in here. Michelando is still in the DRS, but look how much closer Tesco is to Michelando. Max leads P5 his train, but he's going to have to defend from Rob. Look how defensive he's going. Rob is going to have his battery. He's going to have his DRS. Rob wants to regain 5th position. I don't think there's a lot the VCARB driver can do. Rob will take 5th position. Chiv has passed Musty as well. So, I think they had passed each other. I can't remember which way around that.
Rob went wide and Max has gone back through.
Oh, he has indeed. Yes, he has. So, Rob there. But if Rob is going to fight right back on this here, he's going to go down the inside into turn 1, isn't he? He is indeed. And again, not a lot Max can do there. I think he will try and live to fight another day. Tries to stick it around the outside, but Rob will take that. Thank you.
Very smart.
Very much. Baz there. Baz is off. Baz has fallen into P12 as Chiv makes the pass on Rob up the top. Now Rob is round. Rob, something's happened with Rob again. Lee's down into P7. So Rob, as soon as I got off board with him, has had some sort of collision. And Max there has fallen into P10. And a massive bit of pressure from Luke Armo. So Rob and Max might have had something come together on the exit there. I'd switched off it. So Chiv is up to P5 now. Rob is going to do it again.
Rob had a collision with Max.
Right, okay, so Lucalis, look how much closer he's getting. Lucalis has carved almost a second out of Kev. The fight for the lead is not over yet. Michelando and Tesco still remain 3rd and 4th. Lucalis is absolutely flying on those hard tires. Does Kev have enough to defend?
Look how much he's got. He's just gained 3/10 on one corner.
Rob has made the pass there on Musty, and Casper goes down the inside of turn 13. You do not see overtakes happen there. Casper, my goodness me, what a move that is for the Ferrari driver, carrying a 10-second time penalty, but he's now having to defend from Musty, who's going side by side. They're nearly 3 wide, going down into the hairpin. Is he going to go around the outside of Rob? Rob manages to defend, but the Alpine driver of Musty goes around the outside of Casper. Max tried to look for the switchback, but he's got his teammate Skarma for measure as well. There's 5 cars here separated by about about a 1/10 of a second as we enter the penultimate lap, and Musty picks up a 3-second time penalty. We saw him go wide there. At the top of your screen, Mika Lando very close to the back of Luke, not close enough. Kev knows he has to not give them DRS here, or he's in a lot of trouble. Casper going around the outside of Musty, going through turn 1, goes down the inside of turn 2. What an overtake that is for the Ferrari driver. Brilliant stuff. Skarma swaps with his teammate. They're going side by side down into the hairpin as well. Oh, their teammates, you tell them not to fight with each other, would you? Musty goes down the inside of Casper. Once again, one takes the inside of the hairpin, one goes wide. Casper will maintain his position over Musty, and Max comes out ahead of his teammate. I can scarcely breathe here. Kev has done well in the middle sector there to maybe not give DRS going into that back straight, but he's going to have a lot of issues going into T13, Lee. I know I've barely let you speak here, but there's so much going on to try and keep up with.
That middle of the pack seems incredible. I've just noticed now Mika has dropped outside of the DRS to Lugalis.
So big drama there. A podium would be a very good position if he can defend it.
Lugalis now is nearly within the DRS of Kev.
But Kev's got one more lap. One more lap to defend. Yellow flag flying there in sector 3.
Yeah, that is a car.
It's Baz. It's Baz. Oh, terrible for Baz. He had a decent qualifying.
Just falling out of the DRS. He's not quite hit the detection zone for it, but Mika's still in the DRS.
Yeah, Mika will get it. So
he is now 8/10 behind Kev, so which means he may be able to launch a final attack on that back straight onto the penultimate. So that's going to be one to watch very, very close because they're all within DRS now.
What can Kev do? Does he have enough battery to defend? Is Luke going to be under pressure from Mika Lando here as well? What does Kev have on those tires? Yellow flag in the background. That is Baz.
Oh, is this contact as Max has gone past through Busty? Oh, Skarma's been turned.
Skarma's round. Oh, everything's going around at the moment. So Max up to P8 there. Skarma down to P11 and out of the points. Luke Armo on track to score points on his debut. So Baz there retiring in the pit lane. But this is the one to watch, isn't it? Yeah, so we're going to go on board here.
Mika. Oh, this is going to be a very close finish.
This is it. Yellow flag. That's another driver round. That's an Alpine, I think that is, of Musty. Musty's round as well. So big drama there. But look how close Luke is to the back of Kev. It's 4/10. It's 3.5 tenths. It's 3 tenths. The DRS Kev has got a tall order to defend from this. Luke does not have a lot of battery. Kev does not have a lot of battery. Luke is going to go down the outside. Kev is going to defend this one onto the inside. Lugalis on the cutback. Does he have enough? I don't think he does. And I'm going to go on board with Kev, the Mercedes driver. Oh, it's going to be so close to the line. But it's going to be Kev that wins the sprint by just the barest of hair. Friends, 2/100. My goodness, massive applause to Kev for his first win in B0 in the sprint. Lugalis had an agonizing second. Keep your applause for Mika Lando. So Mika Lando,
Skarma 9th, Casper 10th, Musty 11th.
Well, as
Mr. TD coming in 12th, and Devereaux.
Keep your applause for Mika Lando, a very strong podium, my driver of the day in the sprint for certain. Absolutely fantastic drive from him as well. That was Tesco there in P4, I think it was, if memory serves correct. And who was that in P5 in the end? There was so much going on in the middle of the track. Chiv there in P5. Robbed recovers to P6. Well done to him. Max on debut scores points in P7. And Luke Armour on debut scores points in P8. Skarma in P9. Casper in P10 scores a point after his 10-second time penalty. Mr. CD in P11. Musty in P12. Devereaux in P13 will not score points. Baz and Elfin retiring with us. My goodness me, Lee. Whoa.
What a finish.
So, look at that. 2/100ths. My God. Oh, I'm so happy for Kev. Well done to him there. Very, very well done.
This makes you wonder if Luke wasn't quite caught up in that battle. But in the mid-laps, would he have had enough towards the end to actually make it stick? But
we'll see.
Brilliant.
In the chat, just in the chat, Tesco has apologized to Rob, so we could see a penalty going Tesco's way. We'll have to see. No intermediate running, though, in the sprint. I was lied to. I was promised wet racing and didn't get it. So, the sun's shining here, Lee, for the next qualifying session. So, I hope the race is as entertaining as that, isn't it? But the hard tyres there being very clearly the better tyre after, what was that, 7 or 8 laps, I think?
So, lots to consider going into the race. Obviously, these standings now is going to be very interesting. I'm wondering whether a lot of drivers are going to opt to start on the hards going into the race.
I'm curious if it's a one-stop or not, you know? In real life, it was a one-stop. They went the medium hard and just kind of struggled because it was the quickest strat, even though the tyres were a bit shit. And I think we one-stopped when we did it as well, so excuse me. That is
Yes.
Elfin coming out, so we'll watch him as he goes around in just a minute. But yeah, the medium hard or hard medium one-stop seems to be the way to go. The issue is if a safety car comes in, so you only get one set of hards for the race. And if an early safety car comes and you're on the hard tyre, it's really not good. On the sprint weekend, I think they only get one extra pair of mediums, if memory serves correct. So it is definitely looking like a one-stop strategy here, but who is the better at saving their tyres? A bit uncharacteristic here. Lucalis has gone out really early to set a banker, isn't he? We don't usually see Luke go out early.
I was already immediately, as soon as I noticed he was out, I was jumping on board just to see what he's thinking and what he's doing, of course.
He's on the soft tyres at the moment, yes. So
Yes,
Casper, Kev,
he's gone on the
Tesco, and
softs.
Scam are on the mediums, one to watch. Who else is out there at the moment? Devereaux's out at the moment. Baz is out, and yeah, both VCarbs, Skarma and Max as well. Elfin's the one we're going to go on board with here, unless Lucalis overtakes him, in which he is. So I always like to go on board with the first driver to set the time, Lee. I think I'm going to talk us through Lucalis as he goes through it.
Yeah,
I'll go on the TV pod. Let me just clear my throat as we see Lucalis, our second place in the championship here, one-time P0 world champion. Let's see how he gets on in his first lap, breaking about 40 meters as you start the first straight here. You can dump a bit of battery with the DRS on. You go over to the right-hand side of the track, you move all the way over to the left. You don't really need to brake here. Some drivers do. Look at that, just a downshift from Luke, taking a lot of the curb there, waiting. Turn the car in now. Use the curb to rotate the car. Turn again. Use the curb to rotate the car out of 3. Well, this is 3 here, I should say, out of 2 into 3. Now, turn 4 is barely a corner. It's completely flat here. You can actually invalidate if you go over the curb into the hairpin of T5. You take quite an early apex here, and you get on the throttle quite early. You can wash quite wide, but the curb will ground you out. Turn 6 here is completely flat, as we hear that McLaren car go through very well. Turn 7 is a bit of a lift. Downshift, no brake from him there. As we go into turn 8 and 9, look at the transfer, the weight transfer on the car there. So out of 9 and into 10, which is this slow second degree corner. I think it's 10 anyway. So down here, second gear, clip the curb out of 11 or 12 and into 13. I know this is turn 13. It's that big sweeping back corner. Tears your tyres apart. And look there, Luke does. He keeps it all the way close to the inside of the curb and exits at the center of the track. He doesn't want to be out on the left-hand side. He wants to get on throttle and straighten up as soon as he can. Watch what drivers do here. Heavy on the brakes at 100 meters. You can probably brake a little bit later. You can clip a little bit of that curb on the inside. Don't touch the curb on the outside if you go too far out. And then brake at 40 meters here. Does he invalidate? Clips the curb. Keeps it very sensible. Luke will set our first time of a 30.9. Very, very tidy indeed. Elfin in the background pits. He must have invalidated, excuse me, Skarma.
Yes.
Next across the line. What have you spotted?
I've just jumped on board with Kev because I noticed he was on his out lap now. He's gone out on the medium, so I'm interested to see what time he's going to put in.
Scarver there set a 31.8 on the mediums, and Max there with a 31.7 on the softs. So we might see Scarver's true pace. Devereaux there sets a 32.6 as well. I think that might be Musty going around at the... No, that's not Musty. Is that the other Alpine of Mr. Seedy? No, it's the Williams driver of Baz. Excuse me, I do get the blue dots mixed up. That's a 32.4 from him. Mr. Seedy is, however, on a lap, as is Tesco. Checking on how Tesco and Kev are doing. No, sorry, Tesco set a 31.7. Let's see what Kev can do in a minute. On the medium tyres, it's a 31.6. Very tiny, but 7/10 off of Lucalis there. So, Lucalis with a very strong soft tyre lap time. Musty and Mr. Seedy just together. They're Musty getting out of the way of his teammate as Musty's on his outlap. We'll see what Mr. Seedy can do here. He clips a lot of curb on the exit. The Alpine driver So 32.9, 3/10 off of Devereaux on the soft tyre. That was right. So Musty has started his lap now.
Now, Casper, where if it's not lying to me, and maybe it may not be, but Casper seems to have set to a purple sector 1 on the mediums.
I suspect that might be because they haven't set a representative lap time yet. We will watch and see how he gets on. Michelando and Rob are both... sorry, Michelando's on a lap at the moment. So Michelando looking to
This
improve.
lap is looking very neat and tidy from Casper at the moment as he comes to that horrible sharp left-hander.
It's a very clumsy corner, isn't it? Very difficult to get right. So we'll see what he can do. Qualified P13 in the sprint after invalidating his first run. Can we see if he improves any better on the medium tyre? Glad to see Casper's joined us permanently. He's been a good addition. It's very unfortunate with his disqualification last race, but it is a set rule. But he did do very well, finished P6 in the end. I think, before the incident with everybody keeping out of the way of the Ferrari driver, replacing Fatboy Sims, dropped to reserve for the season. So Chubby Slug not able to join us in the other Ferrari today. So Casper, what can he do as he rounds the final corner here, keeps it well within the white lines? It is a 33.4 on the mediums. Not a bad time, but he's still a little bit off the pace of the mediums. So Casper, bit of work to do. Oh, excuse me, Michelando. I'm full of gas today. Michelando next across the line now. I think that is a Alpine of Musty who's going to set his time in just a minute. So we'll see how he can do. Michelando there. And Elfin is also going to start his lap. So we'll see how he gets on as well. Musty. Michelando goes P2, 31.4. Still half a second off of Luke, though. My goodness, Luke has put down an absolute scorcher there, Lee, hasn't he?
Now, Kev is on another push lap, mind.
So Kev, one to watch. We know Kev likes to go around on the mediums. Chiv is starting his lap as well. Luke Armo is still in the pits. Rob is also out on a lap. Big snap from Elfin there. So we'll see how he gets on. If he's able to set a lap time, he had to pit in the end. That's Sabika keeping out of the way. So Rob's going down the back straight at the moment. We'll see what he can do. What tires? He's on the softs. So that will be interesting to see what he can do.
Limit. The absolute limit.
So Elfin, as he navigates the S's into the 9-10 clumsy double left-hander. Hopefully able to set a time. I think I can't remember. Oh, Rob did a 31.3. Still 4/10 off of Luke. Good lord, that's a great time from Luke, isn't it?
It is. It seems to be one to beat at the minute.
So early in the session as well. Yeah. So has Luke got more in the tank? Right. Well, we'll have to see. Elfin there as he navigated turn 13. I'll get a little bit of a toe. That's Musty at the top of your picture there, who I think is going to try and set their lap time.
Chip is also invalidated.
Musty's invalidated, is he?
Yeah, and Chip has.
Oh, right. Okay, so Elfin.
They expect to abandon.
One to watch here, lighting up the rear tyres from the Haas. Right, so we'll see what he can do. Clips a lot of curb, does not brush it wide. Elfin on the softs, it's P12, 33.5. Still got a bit of time in the pocket, I would imagine. So he's got time to go around. And it's all just sort of, Skarma's out at the moment here, Lee. But everybody's sort of chilling in the pits a bit, aren't they? They've set down their gauntlets, but look at time from Lucas, a scorcher. So fair play to him.
Now, Tesco is on an outlap on soft. He's coming round to the penultimate corner now. So I'm interested to see where he's going to put it in respect to Luke, or if he can even jump it. Obviously, track degradation is something to take into consideration as this session goes on, but the sort of 8-minute mark to set your soft time is a little bit of a...
We'll see, they might have another set of softs floating around. I can't see the softs being a valid race tyre, see. I think people will do 2 runs on the softs. I'm curious to see how Skarma gets on as well. I'm just keeping on board with him at the moment as we see Casper go into the pits there. Kev, I think, is... Kev's out on an outlap on the soft tyres as well, so he's given up on the mediums. I'm just on board with Skarma in the V-Carb. A 1/10 separating him and his teammate, but Skarma did this time on the medium tyre. So Skarma is a very good qualifier, we know that. What can he do? So,
I'm wondering here if this is actually a little bit of mind games coming from Kev. I'm wondering.
Skarma's at the 31.4 as we watch that, and there's a driver just off the track there. I don't know if you can see that, Lee. That's a
Yeah,
driver
I'm
that's
not sure who it
musty.
is.
Yeah, I think he's had a spin. It must be that he's
Quite
recovered.
possibly.
He's recovered. But I'm going to go check in with Tesco, who would have encountered that as he was
He
on his
out
flying
of the
lap.
way. He was fine.
Right, so
I've been on
Tesco
board
there.
all the way.
Let's see what he can do. Just dabbing his battery there, trying to save whatever he can. Obviously, we know that the usage of your battery per lap is quite easy to run out here in China because of how
As
many
he just
straights there
has.
are. Yeah, he has indeed. It takes 2 attempts at turning in from Tesco there. He puts it P2, 31.3, only 3 1,000ths quicker than Rob. Tesco's got work to do. He doesn't look that comfy in the car. You saw how much he was struggling there. That is
No,
a yellow flag of...
we are wrong. The telemetry seems to be lying to us.
Yes.
Oh, not the telemetry.
Oh, look,
sorry,
Armour's
the
gone
detail,
off.
'cause Kev-
Oh, on his flying lap. Sorry to interrupt you. He went straight on at turn 1. Very unfortunate from him. He's going to try and keep out of the way of these 2 drivers. But yeah,
Kev
he
is
just
in
went straight
fact
on.
on softs.
Yes, he is indeed. So, Michelando with
Mika-
his next disconnect of the session. I'll try and get him back in if I've got him. There we go. I'll chuck him an
No,
invite.
Kev is currently 2/10 up on his time at the minute.
Right, so that would put him in and around Rob and Michelando, but obviously Kev set his time on the medium tyres. Quite a short sector 1, all things considered. So we'll see how he gets on. It's these quick S's where it all matters. And to tell you what, he just looks so confident in the car there. Such a dichotomy to his teammate Tesco. We saw him take a couple of stabs at turning in the throttle. Still a good time from Tesco. Yes, so Kev on for a decent time now, but he needs a lot of time in this final sector here for him to try and make any massive inroads. He's looked strong in the sprint, isn't he?
On that overtake. Yeah, he's using his battery all the way through that left-hand back corner.
Wow, very
He's held on
confident
and comes
from
off.
him. So,
Comes off and just taps it on that back straight. Very
yeah,
interesting.
we've noticed him and
strategy that I
Tesco
haven't
doing
seen.
that. It must be able to extend the amount of deployment they have. Very interesting. So, we'll see if it works. Kev has one more corner to set himself up there. Takes so much curb there. Kev, can he improve his time? It's a 30.9.
Still
And
not
nobody
touched
could get
Luke's time.
close to him. Talk about a gauntlet thrown. Lucas knows he's more than... I think he's about 60 points off of Rob in the battle at the moment, so he needs a solid weekend. Luke Armo and Musty not setting representative times there. Luke Armo, I'm wondering if he's going around on his first lap. He is. He has fueled up, so he's kept fuel in the car. He's going again. So, Luke Armo in the kit, qualified well. We'll see how he does. That was another driver improved. I think it was Chiv who set a 31.7. Yes, Chiv hadn't set a time, excuse me. So, Chiv up in P8 as it stands. Tesco's in the pits. We'll probably see Kev come in and take a new pair of softs. We do like to see Kev. He does sort of wander around a bit on old tyres, so we'll check in just a minute. Casper's out on an out lap. Chiv is going in. Mr. Seedy, I think, is on a flying lap as well, Lee. So we'll check in and see how he does as well. But I'm just keeping on board with the kick driver at the moment. But I tell you what, that time from Luke looks insurmountable, doesn't it?
It does. I mean, Kev was... We saw how comfortable he was going through the majority, if not all of that lap, and he's still... don't get me wrong, 7 100ths is still a very marginal amount of time to be off, but it's still not enough.
So we know it's really easy to overtake here, so it might not matter that much. We'll have to see. So Mrs. Seedy was just getting past Casper. Casper was just getting out of the way there.
Keeping on board with Casper.
Bit of a snap from Luke Armo as he runs the final corner. Can he improve on his lap time? Luke Armo, where's he going to put it? It's P8. It's a 31.7, and he's got fuel to... I think he's got fuel to recharge and go again. So watch this space. Mr. Seedy is the next one I want to watch as he finishes his lap. See if he can improve on his position. P12. Casper is obviously starting in a minute. We know that. And that is...
I think he's just trying to get out of the way of the
Mr. Seedy abandons. Mr. Seedy abandons. I think he'll be hard-pressed to get out again. It might be P12 at best for the Alpine driver. So, that is Max coming around next, I think. So, yeah, Casper and Max both on their outlaps. Casper's just letting him go. Does not want the driver behind him. So, we'll see how he gets on. And that is, who's that coming down? That's one of the Williams. Yeah, so Baz and Devereaux are just coming onto the back straight as well. So I'm going to watch Max here as he sets his final lap. Leah, I think you're going to be watching Casper as well and see how they get on. So both drivers at the top of your picture. I'm going to take all of it off as we see Max navigate his way through turn one. Little bit of traffic there from the Mercedes driver of Kev. Might have compromised him ever so slightly. We'll have to see. So, these two drivers, ones to watch. So, Skarma did improve to a 31.4 on the softs. Sniper, Max, I should say, might have a bit more time. Casper wants to get out of that P13 spot, doesn't he, Lee? So, Max looked pretty steady through Sector 1. I don't know how Casper navigated his way through Sector 1. Both drivers wanted to watch here. Both Williams out in Sector 1 as well, so we'll check in at them. Big snap from Max. Kept the car going in the right direction, but he is absolutely assaulting the curbs. I was right up against the limit of track limits there. Very well done from him to keep it all neat and tidy. Just a couple more corners for him to do now, and one big old straight. How was Casper getting on, Lee?
He's keeping it very neat and tidy. I gotta be honest, he's not improved that much on his time so far. I think he's only about a 10th up. I'm wondering whether he's just not quite confident with the track limits on this particular track, if I'm honest with you.
We'll have to see how he gets on. A couple more corners to go. I'm going to check in with Max.
We know Casper... I don't think Casper, to be honest with you, is going to be too worried about qualifying, because we both know that in the race he is very competitive regardless of where he starts. So
Max crosses the line here.
Learning.
Does it improve? Max doesn't improve his position. It's a 31.5. He only gained by a 10th in the end. That Casper also only improves by one position. So, Devereaux pits.
No.
Devereaux will start P11 at best. I'm just going to check in with Baz just 1 minute, Lee, and see what he can do. If he's able to improve on his position of P10, I think he had his best qualifying of P9, I think it was last weekend. Baz there will cross the line and stays P10. So, what were you going to say? Sorry to interrupt you.
Just interesting now, because Lucalis has gone out on an out lap. I wonder whether he's got more time to find. While Kev is on his flying lap, he's not long started. He's gone through Sector 1. He's just entering through Sector 2 now. Tesco, of course, also on his out lap.
Just watching Musty here, Lee. Musty's had a 2:07 down to 15th, and he's just got up to the hairpin on what will be his final flying lap. So we know Musty's got a very solid lap time in him. We'll see if he can improve himself off the bottom of the grid. But he's got to look at the traffic he's got to deal with. Oh, it's a big moment. Oh, Musty does a pirouette. Oh, and it was the Mercedes car who was trying to get out of the way of the Alpine, and they both went the same direction at the same time. Musty executes a perfect 360 and retires to the pits. It's P15 at best. Big drama. Yellow flag in the middle of the track there. That is a Williams driver, I think it might be. No, it's an Alpine driver. Is that Mr. Seedy?
I'm just keeping an eye now. Kev is coming up to the penultimate corner. He has made up time on his current lap time.
So we'll see what he can do. Casper improves to P11 in the end. Kev goes on provisional pole! Massive! So, Lucalis is still going around at the moment.
Lucalis just set a Sector 2 time that is 1/10 quicker than his current time.
Right, okay, so that would put him on provisional pole, and let's see if he can maintain that going all the way down the back straight. He's got an acre of battery to use. So, Kev on provisional pole. Luke Armo took the flag in P8. Max will start P7 at best. Casper Devereaux, Mr. Sadie 11, 12, 13th. Baz in 10th. And Musty in P15. Elfin and the Haas also going around. But the one to watch here is Lucalis. Can he disrupt Kev from his first pole? Can Tesco? Can Rob? We'll just have to see. Luke has one more corner to do. Oh, he takes a lot of the curb. He'll have lost a bit of time. But he goes provisional pole by 2/100ths. But look at Tesco. What can do? Chiv up to P6. Very solid lap time from him. Skarma's going around. Elfin improves. Stays P14. Rob there. So Michelando goes P3, and Tesco has a snap. Tesco has a snap. Rob is the only one who can disrupt him. It's P3 at best, and Lucalis is on pole for the second time this season.
Wow.
Tesco had a snap of oversteer coming out of the hairpin and couldn't improve. It's P5, but look at that. It's an Aston Martin 3-4. Michelando with a scorching time there. Very well done. Skarma jumped Chiv at the end to P6. We missed it. So ahead of his teammate for for the qualifying, but Lucalis on pole position. I thought he lost it. He took so much curb on that final corner. I thought
Got
he
it on
missed
the
it.
absolute limit of
Wow,
track
look at
limits
that.
it could
Two
possibly be.
100. So, but we know that at the end of the day, the position doesn't really matter, does it? So, right. Oh, my throat needs a rest. So, Kev is
That was
absolutely
an unbelievable
on fire.
qualifying.
Man, honestly, it feels like this Mercedes duo of Kev and Tesco kind of reminds me of the old Merc of Lewis and Nico. You just never knew which one was going to be the better one on the race weekend. Kev has had the absolute say over his teammate so far in the sprint and qualified ahead of him. I love this. I love this so much. Right, so Lucalis chasing after him. Rob P3 at best. Big dramas here. So, right.
Oh, just one thing to note for you, just as an off chance, is Luke Armour did get a warning for speeding in the pit lane. I don't know how he's managed it, but he has had it.
Oh dear, right. So, of course, a couple of drivers don't play with pit assist. They do manual pit. So Baz, I know, has been caught out by it before. So hopefully he doesn't pick up a big time penalty for that. So what tires do people do? Everybody starting in the hard tires. Looks like it'll be a hard medium.
That's not a shock to me whatsoever, especially after the medium's performance in the sprint. I think everybody's thinking about the hards, but as you said previously, if a safety car comes out, that is going to be very interesting. Now, I gotta be honest, with the way the racing and how competitive it's been, I wouldn't put it past the safety car coming out. I'm going to say, if I'm honest with you, within the first 10 laps is going to be my prediction.
We'll have to see. I tell you what, then, Max has chucked on the medium tires. So interesting. He looked very racy in the sprint, didn't he?
Rob has also done the same.
Rob, I was going to say, I wouldn't be surprised if one of the Aston Martins tries the split strategy and Tesco copies him. Right, so both Mercs and Astons are the top 6 here, both trying split strategies.
And Lucalis has gone for it.
Lucalis on the mediums, Casper on the mediums as
this is where the mind tactics come out.
Mr. Seedy joining it as well.
Skarma's gone on it.
And we are going to see a proper mix, aren't we? So, if Kev can maintain himself in a bit of a train here, keep Robert Bain, stay behind Lucalis for a bit, he will be flying on those hards once the tyres switch as we get ready for the...
It was swapped as well.
So, just to recap for you there as we watch the formation lap, Luke on the front row, pole position for the second time this season. On the medium tyres, Kev starts his career joint best, I believe, of P2 on the hards. Rob on the second row on the mediums, and Michelando on the hards. Both Aston Martins up there. I think that's Michelando's best qualifying of the season as well. Tesco starts P5 after a mistake in qualifying. He's on the mediums. Skarma, starts P6 on the mediums. Chiv in P7 on the mediums, and Max on his debut in P8 on the mediums to make up the fourth row. Luke Armo in P9 there will be the next driver on the hard tyres, joining Baz in P10 there, the lead Williams driver also on the hards. Casper, a driver who we know can make their way up the field, P11 in the mediums, Liam's favourite driver. Devereaux joins next to him in P12 on the hards. Mr. Seedy on the mediums just to continue the difference. Elfin there and P14 on his debut, and then Musty in P15 at the back there after getting blocked in qualifying on the hards.
He's had an absolutely atrocious weekend so far for Musty, to be honest with you.
So he's been bleeding, he's had a spin, he's had an issue in qualifying, so we'll see.
He's not had a good 2 weekends, really, because last weekend he had a
it was the incident with Casper, wasn't it? Yeah, the hairpin. So we'll see how Musty gets on. Chin up. Love to see drivers of different... I love to see different nationalities. We've had Dutch drivers on the grid, Hungarian, Swedish now, Welsh, Scottish, English as well. Used to be an American, so, you know.
Just before we get underway, I'm just going to put it out there now, because I believe next weekend is your last weekend. Is it?
No, this is my last weekend. I'm going away next weekend,
That's
yes.
Right. So next weekend, I will be actually on the grid racing.
Yes, you'll be doing
the Qatar Grand Prix.
And for Japan, potentially. I think it's Japan then Qatar. I can't remember. No,
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 it's Qatar. I
it
just
is.
looked. No, it's Qatar, then Japan. So I'm going to be on the grid for it.
Very exciting. So I'd love to see you get on there. Yes, I'm on vacation. I'm not streaming from holiday. You can piss off at that. Right. So I'm going to go on board with Kev as we did last time, Haley, and watch how he gets on in turn one. Watch Rob in your mirrors.
I'm going to jump on board with Tesco to begin with for this first corner because obviously he is in fifth. He is fast. He is, he is very confident when it comes to racing. So I'm very interested to see what he's going to do and if he's going to manage to split the two Aston Martin starting in third and fourth.
Here we go. Green flag is waving at the back of the grid. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights here in China for the feature race. And we are go. Luke gets a very good start. Kev will tuck it right behind him.
Got a very good. Mika's jumped Rob already.
Mika up to P3. Rob is going to go around the outside of him, is he? Now Mika's going to try and defend that one. No, Rob is going to go around the outside of the Aston Martin driver, and Rob will regain P3 there. Right, so yellow flag in the background there. Someone's had an incident. It's Mr. Seedy who's had an incident. He's fallen under P15. Very unfortunate for him. He's got a lot of work to do. Baz there, fighter. Skarma's off. Skarma's off the track. Big incident for him. He's down in P14. What on earth has happened there? Looking at the top of the grid there. Baz up into P9. Look at Casper, that is, fighting alongside. That's Max there. Casper, they're going side by side through turn 6 and 7. Not a place you see a lot of overtakes happen. Max defends that one from the Ferrari driver. That was brilliant racing there.
I'm having technical issues. I can't get out of the race director.
Oh, right. Okay, that's fine. Right, we're waiting for Liam to sort himself out there. Rob did have a little bit of a peek at the back of Kev. Luke is pulling away very healthily indeed. Michelando's ever so slightly followed back. Liam Michelando's been taken by Tesco on the inside of turn 13. You do not see moves happen there. Elfin in the background has had an incident as well. He's got Mr. Seedy for company. Oh, he's spun again. His tyres are absolutely toast. The last driver's having all sorts of problems there. Devereaux has got a lot to deal with there as we see Luke Armo go down the inside of Baz, Skarma and Musty. And Musty's managed to keep onto the back of this train, so we'll see how they get on.
If I back out, can I come back in and spectate?
Yes, I'll be able to get you out. That's fine. So, Michelando there is defending massively from Chiv. So, Tesco's fallen off of the back of them there. Kev at the top of your picture. As you see Max try and go around the outside of Chiv. Is there enough grip on the outside there? He's still going. He's still going around the outside, but Chiv will defend that one. Indeed, it's like it's Casper. Actually, as I look back on the VCAP driver, nothing doing there. I'm going to very quickly get my co-commentator back in here if I chuck you an invite. So, we keep on board. So, Rob is absolutely biting in the back of Kev, who's fallen out of the DRS of Lucalis at the moment. One to watch at the top of the stream. Lucalis is absolutely scything away at the top. So Skarma is on the back of Devereaux here, following very closely through turn 6. Not a lot of place for an overtake here. Devereaux's going to defend the outside. Skarma's going to try and go around the outside on the fresher tyres. Not a lot he can do. Just nothing going at the top here. Casper makes the pass on Max there, coming out of the double right-hander. What a move that is from the Ferrari driver. He's up to P7. Absolutely brilliant. We know he loves a good recovery drive, isn't he? P11 to P7. Well done from him. But I tell you what, Rob is very close to the back of Kev. Rob is side by side with Kev, and Rob will make the pass on him in the background. Chiv is very close to Michelado. Michelando's actually getting that much closer to Tesco, I believe. Nothing doing there. It's as you were. Max is going to go down the inside of Casper into the hairpin, and these two trade again. These two have had a brilliant battle so far. Luke Armo just sticking on the back of it, and I'm hoping Lee can rejoin me very soon because we've had a brilliant battle here. Right, so
I'm back in, and as I come back in, I'm looking at Mika having a sniff at Tesco, but backing off as he goes into turn 1. Tesco keeping the line, but Tesco obviously very close to Kev, and Kev very close to Rob, while Lucalis has made a massive...
Yeah, he's run away with it, isn't he? So, look at that in the background. That's Chiv going side by side with Michelando. Chiv's going to go around the outside of the hairpin as Michelando defends it. Michelando on the hard tyres, maybe struggling to get them up to speed as Chiv goes around the outside and the Aston Martin goes from 4th to 6th. Chiv up to P5. Great move from him so far. As we were on board there, so Casper and Max have had an absolutely titanic battle. So Skarma did get past Devereaux. in the end. Just as a heads up, so Skarma got past Devereaux, but is gaining
Oh,
on...
Max is getting very close.
He is very close. Michelando is just not enjoying those hard tyres at all, is he? So watch the top of your screen. How will Rob defend from the Mercedes duo? Kev falling down there to P3. Might decide to swap with his teammate. Michelando will get a bit. That is Elfin, who's had a spin in the background as well in the Haas. Unfortunate for him. And he's retired
might have
from
a little
this
bit of a
race.
sniff on the back of Michelando now. With the DRS open, he's not using his battery.
Oh, he does think about going down the inside. It's a very late move, but Michelando gives him enough space. That was a very Liam Lawson-esque from Max there, but he kept it without going into the side of the Aston Martin driver.
Now, though.
Wow, right, okay, so we'll see how he gets on. It's all as you were at the top of your screen. Mercedes still maintaining.
Baz is having a sniff at the back of Luke Armour as well, mate.
Oh, nothing doing there. So we'll see how he gets on. Luke Armour has fallen out of the DRS. Baz gets a little bit on the curb, a little bit on the rear wheel of Luke Armour, keeps it putting in the straight line. So big drama from there. Right, so Skarma is actually gaining on this battle ever so slightly, isn't he? But I tell you what, Lee, Chiv has gotten right up to the back of the Mercedes cars as well. Kev falling slightly out of the DRS.
Yeah, I'm wondering what's going on here now. Luke has pulled that gap, and with Rob pulling out of the way of Kev at the moment, those two are pretty much going to be in a very much a battle of the tyre wear at the moment. Obviously, Luke is on the mediums, and so is Rob. So, who can battle and keep that tyre wear down? But then behind them, there is a massive train of cars going right down to 8th, all in the DRS zone, all having a sniff for each other.
So watch this now. I think the Mercedes just might swap their drivers here. Kev does not have DRS on Rob. Rob is trying to gain on Lucalis, and Kev lets his teammate go, and Tesco will now hunt down Rob, and there's Chiv. I thought Chiv was going to have a go at the inside. That would have been a remarkable move.
He thought of it.
So Michelando has ever so slightly pulled himself away from Max here. I thought Max might have had a go on the Aston Martin drivers. The Aston Martin driver runs ever so slightly wide, doesn't he? Not close enough to make a move. We know how powerful the DRS is here, as Tesco is getting ever just tantalizingly close to the back of that Aston Martin. We'll have to see. Baz is still in touching distance of Luke Armour. We'll see how they get on. But this is the main battle at the moment. It's from 3rd down to 7th.
Dropped out of the DRS.
He has.
Max at the moment.
I think he might have cooked his tyres a bit.
I think he's on a bit of a recharge, if I'm honest. His battery is very low at the minute, so I'm wondering if he's just going to recharge and push on through. Now, I would like to see Casper have a very clean race this race, if I'm honest, because he's always there or thereabouts, but he's always picking up a time penalty, or he had the unfortunate disqualification last race. So it would be nice if he could have a clean race. I do like him as a driver. He does struggle in qualifying, but he's always got something to go for in the race.
Yeah, he's good at getting into position.
Very much,
yes, he is.
Kev is on the back of Kev at the moment. That's
so
going to
unfold
very interestingly.
Kev and Michelando have been really struggling on the hard tyres at the moment. I'm wondering if there's so much fuel in the car, it's actually just pulling the tyre apart. Maybe the medium was the correct strat. Chiv is very close, isn't he?
I think he's going to look for a move. Is he going to go the inside, the outside? He's weaving back and forth. He's going to go for the outside. No.
Kev has defended that very well indeed. His teammate helping him out ever so slightly. Tesco is just that inch closer to Rob, but not close enough. But Michelando, maintaining the gap to Max there, has defended that attack. As it stands, Kev very close to the back of his teammate. I don't think he's going to make the move. Michelando just getting out of the dirty. Yeah, I think they're struggling with the hard tyres, aren't they?
Yeah, I think they are at the minute. Now, just something to note, as we know he's very common for them. Tesco in the 6 laps has not exceeded track
right, okay.
Yet.
He's a quarter of the way through the race. What can he do? Max is Max was actually just very close to them. He's pulling away from Casper there, isn't he?
He's gone now. He's really picked up a bit of pace.
So he's enjoying this. Well, I think he's getting a lovely toe in the train, isn't he? That as well.
I'm wondering if Casper's tyres are struggling.
So Skarma's not making that much inroads on Baz. Baz has fallen out of the DRS of Luke Armour ever so slightly, but Skarma's not gaining as much as I thought he would on the medium tyres. I don't think Skarma's carrying any damage, but he might have damage.
Tesco's had a snap.
Tesco has had a massive snap. He's down in P7. He's at the back of the train. Right, so that puts Kev under massive pressure from Chiv going onto the straight here. Chiv will have an absolutely enormous grin under his helmet, and Rob will breathe a sigh of relief as well, although Luke is just pulling himself ever further away. Kev got a really good launch off of the back of that corner, but I'm on board with the McLaren driver here. I tell you what, Michelando is gaining on him as well. Is Michelando going to try and go for a switchback here as we see Mr. Seedy retire from this race as well, the second retirement, unfortunately, for him. It's as you were. Kev defends for now. Kev is just waiting for those medium tyres to start to struggle.
Yes, very much so. I'm just keeping an eye on the grid. Now, Tesco hasn't dropped that far back. He's gained time actually on Max. He is in the DRS zone, so he's not out.
Oh, it's Michelando going ever so slightly wide. I tell you what, Max got that ever bit closer. I think Michelando actually takes a slightly different line going to that corner. I thought he'd gone wide. He might be taking a later apex because he manages to pull the gap. I say in that Max is closer to Michelando than he has been before. As Michelando, a little bit of contact. Yeah, Michelando is just struggling to get on the power, isn't he? We see Kev had that issue as well, but has been able to defend from shift. The hard tires does not look like the strat. Skarma must have heard me speaking because he's right on the back of Baz. We'll see how that gets on. Devereaux very close to the back of Musty as well. Musty not really making any inroads on the hard tires. We thought Musty would be able to storm his way up on the hard tires, but I just don't think it's working. As we see how well both medium runners at the top are going. Chiv is the one to watch here, isn't he? So
he is. Just bear in mind on those hard tires though, they didn't start to really come into life till around lap 8 of that sprint race. I'm wondering whether they're just easing around just to keep a little bit of life, just keep the temperature up, and as they come in,
Chiv's going to make a move down the outside of Kev. Sorry, Kev is going to defend it on the inside so much later on the brakes, but Chiv goes for that cutback, and Mika's gone wide. So Chiv expert with the cutback there. Mika defends his position from Max there. I just on board there. Kev defended into the hairpin. Chiv said ciao like Ollie Behrman did and caught him on the switchback, but Kev is going to go back down the inside. Kev, he takes the lead, so P3 into T1, excuse me. So, brilliant from him there. Look at Max go down the inside of the Aston Man. The Aston Man's got another favourable line. Max with a big snap there. He's going to be under pressure from Tesco here. Oh, it's a big snap from Tesco. He gets on the battery too early. Is Max going to send one down the hairpin here? Is Chiv going to send one down the inside? Max looks down the hairpin once again. Michelando. Oh, and there's contact. Oh, and Michelando, who was already struggling on the hards. The two had the saddest crash I've ever seen. Casper says, thank you very much. I'll take P6. So he's got a lot of work to do. So Michelando. Oh, and that's Max repassing Casper there. So Max with a lot of work to do. Chiv is very close to the back of Kev. There was almost a 10th separating them there. So let's see what the McLaren driver can do as they go onto the back straight. But watch Max and Michelando there. They're not finished. Luke Armo is in the back of that battle as well. And Skarma will make a move on Baz. Lots to watch here. I don't think there's a lot that Kev can do right in front of me here as Chiv will make the pass on the Mercedes driver. I tell you what, Kev is not letting this one go without a fight.
Look at this. Between Mika down to Luke Armour, they are all on the Ferrari, looked for it. Oh, and Max has gone down the inside of Mika. And Casper's going for it as well.
Oh, a little bit of almost triple wide. Rob Pitts on the medium tyres. So we'll see how they get on. Michelando and Max and Casper getting all within each other there. And Luke Armour's going to have a brilliant view of this. Is anybody going to go for a move here? Casper looks around the outside. Has to break up so slightly. Michelando defends on the inside. Presses Casper out. Says you can go right on the outside. Luke Armour knows better than to stick his nose up at the inside there, though. And Michelando is at a...
Tesco's going for a move on Chiv.
Tesco on the inside. Brilliant move there. Well spotted. Chiv will surely try and fight that one back. Tesco recovering well, but still has a lot of work to do. Rob Air has come out in clean air. 8 seconds behind the Williams drivers. Skarma made the pass on Baz and Musty in all of this battle. Going back there, Luke Armo has got a brilliant view of these 3 cars in front of him, absolutely going hammer and tongue with each other. Who will come out at the top of the end of the pit straight? I think it's a gambler's game. So Musty's on the back of Skarma, one to watch. Tesco is going to have to defend from Chiv in a minute as well. So we'll check it out. That goes. Is that Luke Armo goes down the inside of Casper?
Oh, he hasn't quite got it.
He's going to go down the inside of turn
God.
13. And as Casper passed someone earlier down the tight inside of turn 13, Luke Armo does the same
not giving that up
to
so
him.
easy.
So,
He's
who's
jumped
going to be
back
the
in.
one
He's
to
in.
get DRS? It's Luke Armo with DRS, but Casper gets it as well. At the top of your screen, Mika Lando is potentially going to make the move on Max. Max defends the inside.
Casper's looking on the inside.
And Casper
Who's
goes
gonna
down the
break it? Casper's
inside.
for it.
Luke Armo
The
with the
cutback comes
switchback,
through.
but good defending from Casper. At the top of your screen there, Max will maintain his position ahead of Mika Lando. But in all of this, the
Luke
McLarens have
Bless
double
dived into the
stopped. They've double stopped. Chiv is going to have an issue here. Chiv is going to be held up by his McLaren teammate.
No, not quite. He's fine. He's fine.
Oh, it's a bit
They
slow. It's a bit slow. Rob is coming down the pit straight here as he managed to succeed on the undercut on the hard tyres. Lucalis comes out ahead of you.
Lucalis
and
comes out in
Lucalis
front of
comes out. Rob will have fresher tyres, and he's that much closer. So,
as Max has
one
gone
to
around the outside
watch.
of Mika, and Mika goes back through.
Mika Lando and Max go side by side into the hairpin. Brilliant move. There's a bit of
there's a little bit of
contact. So Mika Lando gets
Max
onto
got
the
wide.
curve on the outside and gets bogged down. Mika Lando will maintain the position and we go again. So, excuse me, I can barely speak at the moment. So, Mika Lando with the hard tyres will extend. Remember that. I think Tesco will pit fairly soon as well. The Williams drivers are going side by side through the S's. My goodness me. Baz goes around his teammate Devereaux. You don't see many overtakes there, let alone between teammates. Right, so Devereaux may have a look back on his teammate in a minute.
Is not up.
It's
between
not
Mika at all.
Look at
It
this,
is
Luke
still
Armo
going
on the back of
there.
Casper as well. This is so close. Luke Armo is that much closer to the back of Casper. Luke
Armo's
Armo
going
will
around the
make the
outside.
pass and will get DRS for
who's
good
gonna be-
measure.
Oh,
So
yes.
Casper with no DRS, he's made the pass happen, but Max isn't letting this one go, goes down the inside. Is Mika Lando going to go
my
for the
gosh, he
switchback?
goes-
No, look at the traction that Max gets there. Max takes P3 back as the Williams drivers are trading positions in the background as well. So they are still side by side. Baz will keep that position. Oh, there's a bit of contact! The Williams drivers collide! I don't believe it! So Devereaux is in the pits. I think he's got wing damage there. There was a bit of contact between teammates. You never see contact between teammates. Wow, okay, so that's one for the war room.
Something else to unfold, and we're only 10 laps into this race, Elliot.
So, Tesco
is
didn't
in the
pit.
DRS of Kev.
He didn't pit though. He didn't pit. He's extending on those tires. So Mika Lando is that much closer. Look at the
he's
medium
looking
tires
for it.
struggling.
Very.
Lucalis is fighting with Baz in the hairpin. He would have overtaken and put a car between him and Rob. Lucalis is actually pulled. No, Rob is actually very close to the back of Lucalis there. There's still, I think, Rob is within the DRS of Lucalis. He will be. So Rob is just under a second behind Lucalis. So watch this space. Has Rob done the more favorable pit strategy? We'll have to see. Mika Lando will have to fight with Max with the medium tires as Max goes ever so slightly wide. Mika Lando will go with the inside, and those hard tires are really starting to come into their own now. Mika Lando will pass and get DRS for good measure. And I tell you what, Max has got a lot of defending to do here, I think, from Luke Armo. No, I tell you what, Max is using whatever battery he's got. He's in the slipstream. Is he going to try and take this one back? Nothing doing there. Mika Lando will defend that position on the hard tires. Right, Tesco's in the pits. Tesco's in the pits. He'll come out behind Lucalis and Rob as it stands, but he's still got a bit of traffic to do. Chiv and Skarma have also pit.
Max going
very wide there. Well spotted. So, is he going to be close enough to make a move on Mika Lando? He's not indeed. Rob there. I want to go check. So yeah, Rob is right on the tail of Lucalis. Lucalis's gap has been eradicated here, Lee. These two drivers who are in the net lead is only separated by half a second.
Tesco's come out just in front of Chiv, and it's
No,
very close.
Oh, he does. He does indeed. So, Tesco on the fresher tyres got his pit strategy just barely right. He's still got to break away a little bit from the McLaren driver. He's got a tall order doing it. Because I tell you what, Chiv is very close to the back of Mercedes. Chiv knows what he needs to do in order to protect his teammate, but he does not go down the inside of the hairpin. Look at the top of your screen there. Let's see how these guys are getting on. Mika Lando still is ahead of Max as Luke Armo gets a big snap there, doesn't he, as we were on board with him.
I'm wondering whether Max is going to dive into the pit this time round, because he's definitely starting to struggle on those mediums. I'm assuming he's trying to get to, he has the freshest tyres for the longest at the end of the race, but at what cost is it going to be now? Because he is extended by about 2 to 3 laps now.
All right, I tell
And
you
he's
what,
now going
at
to
the
have to
top of your
defend from Luke
screen,
Armour as well.
Lucalis is going to have the DRS on Musty, but Lucalis did not get a very good drive out of the final corner. Rob boxed the McLaren in behind the Alpine, and Rob takes P1 net. So,
Oh, and there's
Rob...
contact between Lucalis and the Alpine.
Oh, a little bit, but they came out fine in the end. Chiv does pass Tesco on the straight. Big news for Lucalis there. But Lucalis has got a world of work to do there. Michelano is the first driver to pick up a 3-second time
Max
penalty.
still hasn't hit.
He still
Max is
hasn't.
actually attacking around the outside of Mika on turn one.
Oh, nothing doing there. Michelano says, thank
Oh
you.
my
You can get
lord.
all the way over there. And Luke
What
almost
is
said, but there's
going on?
Casper Pitt as well. So, one to watch. Chiv and Tesco still trading positions there, so we'll keep an eye on them. Tesco goes around the outside, does he? Of the McLaren driver, he's going to keep it going. Chiv is going to say, get all the way out
my
there.
God,
And
what is
Chiv
Max
with the
doing
pinch.
trying to overtake me there?
So, Max, nothing doing there. He's going to be
Wow.
maybe under threat from Luke Armo. Max is absolutely desperate to be the lead car going into the pits here. He's surely got a pit fairly soon. Those mediums are going to start absolutely falling away. So, Rob is defending from Lucalis as it stands. Rob not close enough to get DRS, but Lucalis is 3-4 tenths behind the Aston Martin driver. This battle isn't over. These cars, though, Michelando, Max, and Luke Armo are separated by literally tenths of a second. So, Michelando, look at the run Michelando gets on the straight there. Right? It's almost 8 tenths on the VCAB driver. Those mediums are
Luke
truly
Armour's gonna go
and
for it, though.
well
He's looking around the
over.
outside.
So Max is going to try
I
and
think he's just
squeeze
gonna
him.
see-
Luke Armo is going to defend, go down the inside here. Max is going to try and take this
Oh,
one back. He doesn't want it to go.
What a move.
So
What
Max,
a move that is.
brilliant stuff indeed. But surely he's going to
Surely
pit
he pits.
very soon. He does
Yes,
indeed.
yes.
So Luke Armo's gone off. Luke Armo's gone off. And that will give Rob DRS to defend from Lucalis potentially. So a gift from the kick driver. But of course, these are fighting for position. Luke Armo isn't going to let Rob and Lucalis go here. He's got no reason to. They're fighting for position naturally, especially if there's a safety car. Rob is absolutely pushing the back of that kick car around. Chiv and Tesco at the back of your screen are still fighting. Tesco goes down the inside. These two are having a great battle at the moment, which is helping Lucalis out. Rob goes around the outside of Luke Armo, and Lucalis goes down the inside of the kick driver on the hairpin. Wow,
Wow.
that's a late move from the McLaren driver. Desperation to try and not lose the DRS to Rob. So he knows that he cannot lose that DRS to Rob there at all.
Oh, just if you noticed as well, Michelanda has picked up the time penalty.
And
He has
Casper,
picked up 3 seconds.
and Max came out of the pits on the hards less than a tenth ahead of Casper. So Casper, on 1 lap fresher tyres, is going to try and stick back with them here. Remember, Casper was a few seconds off this battle. So can he stick with the VCARB driver here, and can he make his way up as well? Yeah, Michelando, one to watch for his penalty, but Rob...
Is pushing on the back of Tesco.
Now look at this, Michelando is
speak.
actually going to swap with his teammate here, Rob, to let Rob go through to P2, and Michelando will now be the walking wall to try and block Lucalis and give Rob a chance to break the RS. So, will Lucalis be able to get past Michelando going down into the first corner? We'll have to see. Michelando a little bit wide. I tell you what, I don't know if there's a whole lot Michelando can do as Luke Armour goes into
I
the pits.
think it might be enough.
Lucalis going around the
gonna go the
outside of the
long
Aston
way
Martin
round.
driver. He's just got
And
so
he's
much more grip. And we will watch these two, how they get on. Rob and Lucalis separated by very little time indeed. Tesco
Armour has dived into the
defends
pits.
his position from Chiv. So Tesco will be pulling him along here. Luke Armour will come out. No, he's still in the pits, excuse me. So Max and
Keep an eye on
Casper
this
will
battle.
pass him.
Casper is getting very close to the back of that V-carb of Max at the moment, so I'm just keeping an eye on it a little bit.
So
Obviously,
Kev,
them two are fighting for position as well.
8 seconds ahead, but yet to pit. Would love a safety car right now, wouldn't he, Kev? So,
Yeah, he would.
Lucalis hounding the back of that Aston Martin car, knows what he needs to do in order to be within a chance. He's broken the DRS to Michelando as well. Those hard tires are really starting to fade away. So Musty is 5 seconds away from Michelando. He's actually quietly driven quite a good race to try and keep back up into the middle of the pack here.
How long is the pit stop
I'm
on this?
afraid I
About 20
don't know, but I do know is that
it's about
Lucalis is
24.
very close to the back of Rob. Rob is very good at maintaining his battery. We know that. It's 4 tenths, it's 4.5 tenths, it's 3.5 tenths, it's 3 tenths, it's 2.5 tenths, but it's not enough. Lucalis stays behind Rob for the time being. Maybe he's waiting, he's biding his time.
Gonna have a look. Possibly at Tesco, he's not burning his battery, he's just got the DRS.
So
open at
Luke
the
Armo
moment.
in the background here, the fresher mediums, has gone side by side with the Williams driver of Devereaux, and Luke Armo will recover to P11, but he's got a bit of a mountain to climb in order to catch back up to Casper. 4 seconds the gap. At the top of your screen there, was that
Oh, Tesco went very wide on that last corner then. Chiv is
Chiv is,
on the
yeah, he's
outside.
going on the outside. Chiv is going to make this one stick into turn 1, and these two's battle continue evermore. Michelando is pit onto the medium tires. So Michelando, we'll see where he will come out. I think he's going to come out all the way behind. No, he's going to come out ahead of Lugano. Behind Casper and Max. Michelando, a bit of work to do, but Tesco and Chiv's battle will continue ever more. Nothing doing for Tesco there. Rob is defending his position from Lucalis, but I don't think Lucalis is really interested in making a move on Rob anytime soon. He knows how powerful that DRS straight is. He just needs to bide his time, doesn't he?
So yeah, I think he's just gonna take it a little bit easy. I mean, the gap as well that's very concerning for Kev is the gap is coming down between those two. So I'm imagining Kev is gonna dive into the pits very soon. I'm gonna say he's gonna come out right around Skarma sort of.
I was going to say,
territory
yeah,
towards
he
the
might
V-carb.
split the V-carbs, you know, depending on if he pits anytime soon. I'm just watching Tesco here, getting close to the back of Chiv. Will probably want to make that move happen again, as they are actually
Mika
starting to rein in
is
Musty, aren't they?
Pushing, yes, they are. No, Mika is pushing on the back of that Ferrari.
He is.
Casper at the moment.
At the top of your screen, Tesco does make the pass on Chiv. Michelando on your screen right now will make the pass on Casper, potentially, as Kev is in the pits. So Rob regains the lead. Michelando does make the pass on the Ferrari driver, who is on the hards, obviously.
Luke is within 2 tenths of Rob now. I wonder if Luke thinks this is my time. I need to
no,
get
he
past him
doesn't.
now.
He doesn't indeed. He sticks behind for now. But Chiv is going to make a move down the inside of Tesco into turn 1. Tesco gets a good run around the outside. Chiv was unable to make the pass happen. These two are still going. So, Musty in the pits now. He'll come out, I think, behind the Williams drivers. Lots of work to do for Williams. But look how close Chiv is to the back of Tesco. Chiv is going to go around the outside of him here, going into the hairpin. Tesco breaks late and gives him just enough room. Chiv goes for the cutback. Takes a lot of curve. He might have picked up a warning for that. So, and Tesco will defend his position. In the back of your screen, Michelando there, getting close to the back of Max. Nothing doing. That is Baz. Baz is round. Is at an incident somewhere. He falls behind Musty.
Mika in amongst this has gone past Casper, as we know.
Yes, look how
Mika's
close he is
now
to Max
on
there.
the back of Max, yes.
He's carrying a
The Kev-
3-second time penalty. We know Max does not give things up easily, so Michelando needs to make this comprehensive, doesn't he? But look at the top of your screen. Lucalis is that much closer to the back of Rob, going onto the mid straight, and Lucalis will regain the lead of this race well in time for the hairpin. Will Rob try and fight this one back? These two have been playing a game of battery conservation, knowing how important it is. Chiv is making a move on Tesco. I'm just going to keep on board with Rob here to see if he tries to repass Lucalis going into the pit straight here, as we see Chiv do make the pass on Tesco, trading positions once again. But look how close Kev is to that battle lead.
He's getting very close now, especially with these two battling. It's opening the door for him. He's now within DRS zone, just up that.
And he's on such fresher tyres, isn't he?
And
Michelando
Mika
does
and
make the
Max.
move on Max, going down into the hairpin. So, Michelando with those medium tyres, running in P7, but carrying a 3-second time penalty, and knows Max will not let this one go without a fight. We know Max is very authoritative on the brakes, isn't he? Nothing doing so far. So we'll see if Michelando can break that toe. But Kev has actually passed his teammate. They swapped. So Tesco has let his teammate by. Kev here on the medium tyres has been sent to attack Chiv. Tesco couldn't pull away from him. Can the Mercedes driver of Kev do so?
Oh, it's going to be interesting. I mean, he's on the quicker tyre, so it's going to be the case of, I think, Kev take Chiv and then Kev chase Rob and Luke.
I was going to
because,
say,
again,
look at that.
he is on the quicker.
15 seconds the gap between Rob, Luke, and third place Chiv there. That is the gap of these two, championship contenders at the moment, showing why they are first and second in the championship. Rob is very close to the back of Lucalis. Rob is going to go down the inside, and I tell you what, Lee, it's going to be a repeat of Austria, isn't it? These two are just going to be trading positions every single time. Kev is very close to the back of Chiv. Kev will move over to the right-hand side on the fresher tyres.
Just further down the grid, that Luke Armored is that much closer to Casper. He's going to open the DRS. He hasn't put the battery on yet. I'm wondering if he's going to use it later.
He may be waiting, biding his time. He knows he's on the better tyre. So Max unable to make any inroads on Michelando. Hasn't broken the DRS, but we'll see Michelando how he gets on. Musty recovers by overtaking Devereaux to P11. So all drivers on track to score points here as it stands, as long as they finish. So Michelando nearly broken the DRS. Oh, look at Lugamo going down the outside of Casper. Lugamo and the King driver going around the outside. It's a brilliant move from the King. Very well done to him. It's up to P9 on points to score. Not on chance to score points on his debut, I should say. So, but Casper on the hard tyres will come and try and fight this one back. So, Lucalis close to Rob. We'll watch how that goes. Tesco. Kev has already broken the DRS to Chiv. Look at that. That's how strong the medium tyres are right now. Michelando is actually gaining on Skarma there in P6, isn't he? So we'll check in and see how Tesco and Chiv are doing. Maybe Kev will get involved in that battle. Oh, Tesco's round! Tesco's round! He's had a spin! He's kept it out of the wall, but his tyres will be absolutely, his wings fine. But Tesco with a big snap tucks it behind. Michelando just got on the throttle too early. We've seen it happen. And let's look at Skarma there. And Michelando having all sorts of issues there. I don't know what on earth happened. But Tesco, big snap! Michelando's had to take evasive action. Michelando's gone off. Tesco had an absolute tank slapper coming out of turn 13. Michelando had to avoid him. Casper masses Michelando. And Michelando there, so unfortunate, was running in P6, has fallen down to P9. Not his fault at all. So unfortunate for him after such a good sprint. He's got a lot of work to do. Luke Harbour up to P7, carrying a penalty, of course. So we'll see how that goes.
Is still keeping in touch with Rob. He's only 5 tenths behind.
Close, but not
sectors.
Close enough. Right, so we'll watch how that goes. Casper is just sticking in the DRS of Luke Armo to develop himself. Michelando will have to try and gain some positions. Tesco is absolutely, I mean, his tyres must be absolutely on fire at the moment.
Just to bear in mind for you as well, Luke Armour is carrying a time penalty.
He is, isn't he? Yeah, Michelando. So Casper's got a big smile on his face, but I think he's going to have to look behind him a minute. Michelando does not look down the hairpin. Michelando was right pushing that Ferrari along, wasn't he? So Michelando will try and regain this, knows that Michelando was fighting Luke Armo for position on track with their time penalties at the moment. So
Mercedes of Tesco is looking very sad at the minute. He's looking very sad. He's just fallen out of the DRS, and he's just filtering on that line from Mika at the minute.
Oh no, he's gained it a little bit. I think you meant Tesco, not Kev there, but
Tesco, sorry.
Kev,
on the other hand, has taken 2 seconds out of the top 2.
Yeah, maybe not enough, though. Maybe not enough. 9 laps to go, and those mediums, well, we'll have to see how they get on. But I'm keeping on board with Michelando here. He will try and make a move on this Ferrari driver. Casper has no DRS. There's not a lot he can do. And the Aston Martin of Michelando will recover up to P8 for now. Obviously, we know how easy it is to get an overtake down here. Casper does not retaliate by going down the inside. But look at that. Skarma up in P5 max there in P6. So 5-6 for VCABs. Very good. Good debut from Max so
very good
far.
debut,
yeah.
Max.
So, yeah, Michelando is actually just ever so slightly in the DRS of Luke Armo. So this might be favourable for Casper here, as Casper's not carrying a penalty. So we'll see how that gets on. Rob is still maintaining his gap ahead of Luke. Obviously, Luke's just going to wait, isn't he? I tell you what, Lee, I don't think Kev is gaining enough time to really be in for a shout of a fight here, but he is looking very tasty for a podium, isn't he?
He is. No, I'm just wondering with Kev's got a bit of a game plan in mind, because he knows those mediums could go off quick if he pushes it now. So I'm wondering if he's just going to sort of tiptoe along for the next couple of laps, and then the old Mercedes saying it's just going to be hammer time for the last sort of 4 or 5 laps, and just see how much time he can pull out. within those times. 'Cause
Excited to see. I just don't feel like it'll be enough. Rob is still maintaining his gap. We're keeping on board with Michelando here as the one to watch. Tesco obviously very close to the back of Casper. We'll probably see a move down the straight there. Musty is recovered up to P11, but he's kind of in no man's land there. The Williams at the back there as well in their own little battle after their clash. Look at Michelando attacking the back of the kick driver here. These two are fighting for position given they're both carrying a 3-second time penalty. Michelando is going to go for a late strong move. Oh, it's a lockup from Michelando. Luke Armour does very well to avoid the car there. Michelando got too heavy on the brakes as Tesco goes around the outside of Casper into the hairpin. They're side by side in the final corner. You do not see moves there. Very well defended from Casper, who'll get the DRS as well. That was brilliant stuff there. But yeah, I was on board with Michelando there. He went for the authoritative move on Luke Armour. He just locked up. The tyres completely locked up. But I tell you what, they've actually gotten really close to the back of Max here. What will Luke Armour be able to do? Those medium tyres are starting to come alive for some of these cars in the middle of the pack. He's got to worry about Michelando in his rearview mirror. Again, carrying the time penalty, contributing factor, but would love to be able to make the pass and maybe even pull away. This, though, Michelando, Luke Armour, and Max are the ones to watch. This is the main battle. Obviously, the top of the picture, Rob and Luke have just kind of been maintaining, haven't they? They haven't really been sort of, trading too much.
No.
Luke is a little bit closer, but probably not close enough.
I'm wondering if it's a bit of a gentleman's agreement there between the two of them, thinking, let's not battle it out now, because the more we battle, the more Kev is going to come into play, because he is dropped it below the 10-second mark now.
Right, so we'll have to see. Just watching. Oh, Max there goes all the way over to the right-hand side. I don't know if he had a moment.
As I'm saying that, Lucalis is only... Oh, he was 3/10 behind.
Like they're 3 wide going down the main straight here. Michelando will make the pass on both of them, but Max will look to attack this one down the inside. He does indeed. Michelando's going to try and go for the cutback. No, Luke Armour goes on the cutback here. Michelando sticks behind the VCAP driver, and it's as you were. Max, Michelando, Luke Armour there. So, no, sorry, Michelando, I think, made the pass, but Max has got to defend here. Michelando goes around the outside into T1. Is Max able to defend this? Max does defend very well. There's a little bit of contact there side by side. My goodness me. So, Max maintains it going into T1. So, and Tesco is past Casper. We saw that at the top, yes.
Yeah, so just having a little rundown of the grid now. Obviously, you still got Rob and Luke. They're just sort of biding their time and wondering whether they're thinking in the long run. Obviously, Kev has now dropped it below 9 seconds in less than a lap.
Right,
so I'm wondering if they're starting to think what's going on there. Chiv is just having an absolute blast, just running around on his own. He's got 8 seconds in front of him. He's got 4 seconds behind him. He is just relaxing. Skarmo's a little bit of the same, although I think he might be looking in his mirrors a little bit from Max and that battle behind him because they're not that far away. Obviously, these 3 drivers, we know exactly what's going on at all times because they are swapping and trading more than I do anything in my life like cars. So, they're ones going on. Casper is dropping some distance away from Tesco now.
Sorry, Lee, just to interrupt you quickly, Michelando is going side by side with Max once again. Michelando is going to show Max the inside here. Is Michelando going to try and go for the switch back here? Oh, he does, but he clips Luke Armour. Luke Armour had a look up the inside there, and they've all managed to maintain as it was. I don't think Luke Armour was expecting Michelando to go for the switchback. So, big drama there. Casper has actually re-overtaken Tesco, unless Tesco re-overtakes him himself. So we'll watch how they go into turn 1 there. Yes, obviously, from 6th down to 10th here, it's basically a dice roll. Who's going to come out on top of the end of this race? As Tesco does make the pass on Casper. Casper goes a bit wide. Tesco says, thank you. It scoops up the inside. So,
what a turn of events.
To carry on there, yeah, Musty down there in P11's on his own, and then they're both Williams in the back of your picture.
Just keep an eye on as well, because the 2 VCAB teammates, Max is starting to close that gap on his team at Skarma at the moment, which is going to bring then another driver into the mix.
I tell you what, though, Lee, I'm just going to go up the top. Lucalis is a lot closer to the back of that Aston Martin driver going down into the pit straight. He's not using his battery. Lucalis knows he's got to wait until the last lap to make this move stick. That's how powerful the straight is in China. And it remains
look
as
behind
you were.
As Kev is now coming towards the 7-second mark.
It
Mikey
could be
is closing the
close.
gap.
It would be. I'd love to see if he gets involved right at the end. We're going to watch Michelando once again. He's going to go down the inside of Max this time. And Michelando will defend this one down the inside. Max
Casper is now looking around the outside of Tesco.
Oh, Casper
actually
goes
got
down
the
the inside. And Casper will potentially make the move stick. Musty actually gets a pretty good view of this. I tell you what, Tesco defends this, but they're actually pulling Musty a bit closer to them. So Musty could be on for a good position as we see him with a big snap of us here. Casper's going to go back down the inside of Tesco. These two trade once again. Brilliant driving there. So Michelando did defend his position from Max going down into
these two are
turn
side
one.
by side. Going through turn 2 into turn 3. They're
They
still
are
side by
indeed,
side.
yes,
going through
Tesco, look at that. Going down the inside, brilliant racing. Who's going to come out on top? It's a drag race to the hairpin. Tesco will come out on top. Is Casper going to send it down the inside of the hairpin?
He is, of course he is. He's got
But
to do it.
Tesco gets the
Not
better
quite.
line and sticks it. And this battle
my
continues once again.
Now just keep an eye on as well, because Skarma is now going to be under pressure from Mika,
He
who's also
is.
under pressure from Max, who's under pressure from Luke.
Yeah, this is brilliant stuff, isn't it? So, at the top of your picture there, excuse me, when all this happened, Lucalis has actually passed Rob at some point. We were so busy looking up and down the grid. Lucalis has repassed Rob for the lead. I don't know if it was down the pit straight or the lap before. So, shows how good we are at our job. Lucalis, now the lead driver, going into the lap 26 of 28. A few more laps left to go. Lucalis knows a win here would go a long way towards potentially regaining some important positions against Rob there. Michelando just going down the inside of Skarma, who's got Max for company there. Max nothing doing there. Michelando up to P5 on the medium tyres, but carrying the time penalty. It's going to massively screw him over. Casper there. Very close with Tesco once again.
We're coming into the closing laps now, Elliot. I've got to ask the question, as you did me.
Oh, look at this! Look at this! Max goes down the inside of Skarma, nearly went around the outside. Skarma's going to trade once again with his teammate. Luke Armour's right back in the midst of it. So, what's going on here? They're going side by side down into the hairpin. It's another drag race to the line. Who is it that has the inside line? It's me. Oh, he's got the inside of Michelando. Max, with an audacious move, didn't work. Will somehow maintain 6th position. Skarma knows there's nothing doing there. There was a bit of bodywork that came off. I'm not sure if it came off of the V-carb or the Aston Martin, but he's been making some ridiculous moves. Luke Armour, look, he's going to go side by side. Is he going to go around the outside? He's not indeed. Skarma's all over the road. He's been having issues. Casper and Tesco swapping in the background in a very strange place. Tesco down the inside of the double left-hander. Tesco goes wide, and look how close Musty is to this battle. Musty goes down the inside of Tesco.
Oh my God.
And they're going side by side as they go down into turn 13. Brilliant racing from two drivers here. Who's gonna...
We got 4 of them with 3 of them with DRS. Mika's gonna have to some defending to do. As Max Skarma is retaking the position, going down the outside, but Max is putting it back on the inside. Luke Armour is having a sniff.
Look at that! They're still going side by side. Max will maintain 6th position there. And did we go again?
Who do you give driver of the day?
Oh, Luke Armour's going to go down the inside of Skarma. Sorry, look, and they're outside. Sorry. Is Skarma going to be able to defend this position as they go side by side? Max is side by side with Michelando. Max down the inside of Michelando. What a move that is. Not a lot doing there. Max, they're still going side by side as we want to watch Luke and Rob here, as well as as Max goes down the inside of the hairpin and picks up a 3-second time penalty. Saw that happening from a mile away. Scum has got a big old grin under his helmet because he's the only one in this battle who doesn't have a 3-second time penalty. Max takes the position over Michelando, took so much of the curb. To answer your question, Lee, I'd have to give it to Chiv. He's done well to recover up to where he is. He's kept it all clean, and I'm gonna have to stop talking because Max went really wide on the curb. Michelando will make the move happen. Skarma potentially look up at the inside of his teammate. Skarma with a bit of contact with his teammate, doesn't spin them around. Max goes a little bit wide. Michelando will not have any DRS at all, so this battle is going to continue going. Luke Armour's very close to the back of Skarma. This is going all the way to the final lap as Rob and Luke do start their final lap. One to watch. Skarma is going to go down the outside of Max there. Skarma and Max is going to go really deep on the brakes there. A little bit of contact with Michelando, a little bit of a collision. Luke Armour goes around the outside of Skarma. Max maintains P6. Luke Armour down the inside of the final corner. Max goes wide. Skarma took a lot of curb. Luke Armour took a lot of curb. And Skarma's down to P8, but of course isn't carrying a penalty. So... yeah, Chiv would be my driver of the day. I'll explain a little bit as Michelando and Max come to a collide a little bit. But I'm going to have to go. I'm going to have to skip off this in a minute. Look at that. Max and Michelando still. Michelando's round. Contact between Max and Michelando spins the Aston Martin driver down, who's had a torrid end to a very unfortunate race. I am going to have to go all the way to the top of the screen, though, Lee, as Rob and Luke come together for the final run down the pit straight. Who will have the better run out of turn 13? Who will be able to run into the final corner? Rob has an absolute full battery. He's got 100% of his battery. Lucalis does not. Is Rob gonna have enough to make a move? The DRS is on. The battery's on. He's in the tow. Rob will go around the outside of the McLaren driver, and Rob once again will lead into the final sector as he's done so many times this season. He's got just one more corner to go. Rob will round the final corner. Lucalis is so close to him. It'll be a repeat of the sprint, but Rob wins the Chinese Grand Prix. Lucalis comes home second once again. Kev comes home with a very impressive third on the alt strat. Well done to him. Our driver of the day. So,
is Tesco gonna have a look? Musty's got the RS open. Casper's defending for his life. Tesco's having a look around. He can't make a move. He's not close enough.
Right, Chiv comes home in P4 as my driver of the day. Max will cross the line P5. Luke Armour P6. Skarmo will claim P5. Max to P6. Michelando to P7. Luke Armour to P8. Casper will lead these cars to the line. P9. Tesco will take P10. Musty P11. You were watching that, obviously. And these two Williams drivers, Baz and Devereaux, who are fighting for position here. They've got the same amount of time penalties. Does Devereaux have enough to make a move on his teammate as the final point scoring finishing cars? Oh, it's a bit of contact. The meter versus the hearts. Baz will defend this one, and I think Devereaux will have to take second best in the Williams seat for now. Baz will round us out for P12, Devereaux for P13. And I am sweating, Liam. I'm genuinely sweating. My God, that battle between Luke Armo, Mika, Max, and Skarma was absolutely ridiculous, wasn't it? Wow.
Oh, my Lord.
So, yeah, Chiv was my driver of the day. I think he did very well to keep it clean, made the overtakes when he needed to, kept it on the track, and just drove a very clean, cool race to P4. Good drive from him on a day where I know he's not feeling very well. Obviously, Kev on the alt strat did as well, didn't he?
Yeah, Kev had a good drive. It was a very good race. I mean, shout out to our, two of our debuts. You know, Max, phenomenal race. Brilliant battles going through. Luke Armour done well to stick on the back of it, to be honest with you.
He did, both scoring points on debut as well. Elfin unfortunately retired, didn't he?
Yeah. Mika, good race from him all round. I mean...
Very unfortunate, didn't he, that he got spun?
Yes, very much so. Tesco finishing in 8th. Probably the best he would have got from a couple of the situations. So, brilliant race weekend. Fantastic race weekend.
My goodness. Well, I tell you what, I'm not going to enjoy my 2 weeks away. It's going to be a real shame that I'm not going to be here because this has been some brilliant racing this season so far, isn't it? But yes, for Qatar and for Suzuka, I will not be able to um, be here to commentate as I am away on holiday. So Kowalski will be joining us as a reserve driver for those 2 race weekends. Will be pretty good. But wow, what a race then! So Rob, the ominous march of Rob on his record third P0 championship or fourth, I'd have to check, continues on. I mean, he is just so. You talk about Lucullus being so good, right? At the sort of like maintaining the battery, not getting time penalties, keeping out of trouble, making the overtakes when it happens. I tell you what, though, Rob has been schooling Lucullus this season on how to do it. I gotta say, absolutely. There's so many times this season, Rob has just known when to recharge his battery, when to defend, when to make the overtake. And I mean, look at that. First in Canada, first in Austria, first in Britain, second in Australia, third in China, I think it was, and then the China sprint, and then first in the China feature. I mean, talk about a march, isn't it? His lowest finishing position so far this season was 5th in the Portuguese sprint, and joint 4th is his lowest in feature race finishes. Rob is storming away with it, isn't he? So, right, Liam, thank you very much for that. That was
always a pleasure.
Brilliant stuff. I also want to give a shout out to Skarma as well. Excuse me. Skarma also did very well to drive to where he did. Brilliant stuff from him, given, you know, the sort of the instance he had to deal with and defended very well when he needed to. So, right. I will definitely say thank you to Liam. And say thank you all so much for watching. Yes, to reiterate, I am away for 2 weeks, so I'll be back for... Where am I? Where's the season calendar? I'm away for Qatar. I'm away for Suzuka. I'll be back for Bahrain on April the 13th. So, that'll be fantastic. Appreciate you all, and I will see you in a few weeks. Take care, guys.